Hello.
Hello, I'm sorry I
Welcome
was trying to talk
in.
during your intro. You had to mute me.
You're fine. It automatically mutes when you play the intro.
Oh, I was like, she just told me shut up.
No, it mutes me too. Thank God, because I'll be over here lighting a cigarette and everything else. I don't even normally smoke on camera. I'm all over the place, y'all.
I know. I was like, oh, I told Salty, I was talking on the phone with Salty. I said, Mom's going on. She goes, our friend. She goes, I'm going to fix me something to eat and I'll see you over there. Click. I was like, dang, she almost hung up on me.
She done did that to you. She done hung up on you. Welcome in,
Almost.
everybody. Kimber, Doodlebug, Private Potato, Miss Marion Tate, sending so much love to you. Salty hung up on you. That's freaking priceless.
She
There's the
didn't.
link.
She didn't. She almost did.
There
She
is Mini
didn't.
Monster. She didn't hang up on you. All
Is
right.
that your mini monster?
That is Mini Monster.
Hello, mini monster. Did you put the link in there for Mini Monster? I'm sorry, I just took
No, I
it.
put it in there for anybody. It should say
Oh,
in the
okay.
description. The
There's your
description.
sister.
I can't even
Hi, mom,
English
sister.
today. Hello. He's exhausted. He's been up since 3:40. I told y'all he was working on a game. He'd be programming and all that good stuff. Far. Hello,
Hi,
my love.
Mackie.
I've been worried to death about you. There's my Mecky. All right. Smoke
We
this
were up
nasty
till
cigarette and
three
I'll come on.
o'clock last night. 3 o'clock the other night, Mini Monster.
We had us a good live. It was a good live. I felt real good when I got off here. I passed right out for once. So how you been?
I'm good. How you been?
I'm all right. Always a one-way street. Welcome in. Always glad to have you guys in here. Mickey, I think I said hi to you, love. Boy, that truth. Let me tell you what. I woke up this morning. I wasn't even awake yet. Didn't even have my coffee. And me talking about, Mom, I need you up here.
I know he
Lord.
messaged. He messaged. He and Teddy said he needed Dutch. And well, he told me to get up there, and I got up there, and then I didn't get a chance to speak. So I was like, okay. But then he wanted Duchess, and I told him she was away, away on some personal stuff. But he emailed her, so I was like, okay.
Mini Monster
But,
says, I'm sorry. I know I fell asleep about an hour and a half before the live and didn't wake up till 12:47 the other night. Dude, I messaged his other half and was like, hey, is he coming? And I think she thought I meant, is he coming to Florida? And she was like, what? I was
does he
like,
live
oh,
in Florida?
no, he lives up towards where Sebastian's went missing from.
Oh, okay. So he's in my area.
Yep. Yep. He's up there. They all left me. I moved down here and they all moved back home.
Oh, okay. So he's in my area.
Yep. He ain't far from you. He is not far from y'all. That's why he went and did that for me when Riley was missing. Because he was right there in the area. Sorry, guys. I was smoking. For those of y'all that are new here, I don't smoke on panel because I know a lot of people quit smoking and I don't want to trigger anybody for smoking. There's Dandy. So
Hi,
I'm gonna
Dandy.
ask you, Ken, what do you think, Kimber, about doing? We have all these appreciation days. We have Doctor Appreciation Day. We have Secretary Appreciation Day, Manager Appreciation Day. I think we ought to have a Mod Appreciation Day.
I think there should be a mod appreciation day too, because it couldn't be done without the mods catching all the trolls.
That's what I was thinking. I was in Mr. Steve's live tonight, and I said, he has some of the best mods. I love all my mods, and like he said, a lot of us channels that are here for the right reasons, we share the same mods. And I feel like we should have a day where we pick and make that day go viral. There's enough of us here that we can spread it. There's enough of us on between this platform, Facebook, and Twitter. We can make a hashtag and get that out there and get people to pick a day to appreciate your mods and highlight your mods because they're the backbones of these channels. I get up here and I talk, and you hardly ever see one of my mods on panel. And that's with any channel. You hardly ever see a mod on panel unless there have been a panel guest previously and they're comfortable. Because most of them, they do the work in the background. They're the ones that are feeding you so much information all the time, even live. You got check your DMs, check your emails, check this, check that, and they're just, and you're right, they catch all the trolls. And, my mods are great. I love my mods, and I've got over here. All of our trolls get eaten. There's one troll that's allowed to come in here as long as he behaves himself, and that's Rapper.
Hang on. Hi, Kara. I'm sorry to hear about your shepherd, honey.
What, did I miss something?
Kara said she's.
Carefree.
I'm trying to keep up, but I'm losing one of my 5 shepherds. He's 15. He's taking up a lot of my time. I do follow when he is asleep and comfortable.
Oh,
I'm
I'm so
sorry, Kara.
sorry. Sending so much love to your fur baby and you. That's rough.
Yeah, they're rough. They're like our babies. They're like our kids.
They are.
Oh,
There's
Danny,
many.
that's a good one. Hashtag love a mod.
Love a mod. I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
I figured I'd join for a moment.
Hello, what is true? Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hi, Mini
Well, thank you for
Monster.
gracing us your presence, sir.
Yeah, I figured I'd get out for just a little bit. I'm kind of exhausted. Like I said, I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning.
Well, we went to bed about 3 o'clock this morning.
Well, I got up at about 3:40. Oh boy, I'm gonna get all cuddled up with my cats.
The cats. Where's the mean bean?
The mean bean is on the couch with the gin.
Oh.
What's the
Ice
He has a
cream.
bean?
chihuahua. She is the cutest baby.
She is
I
the
have a
bean.
short of her. She is the bean. She's the family bean.
Oh,
I just ate a bunch of taquitos as she stared me down.
You did not give her one?
No, I did not give her one. Raja,
which kind of
Romeo, she's gonna fuck you up.
what kind of taquitos do you buy, Mini Monster?
They were beef taquitos.
Yes, but which brand?
Deli Max, I think.
Yes.
It's just a Walmart brand.
We buy the Deli Max too because they are the best because they're better. They got the flour tortilla instead of the
They're
corn.
better in the oven than they are in the microwave. Me, I'm lazy. I just shoved them in the microwave.
Well, you know what I do with mine? I put mine in my air fryer and they come out so crispy. But
See, that sounds good too.
Yeah, the air fryer, you put them in there for about 8 or 9 minutes and they come out and they're really good. But the thing is that the corn tortilla has a better, not the corn, the flour tortilla. For some reason, it's just better than the corn. That's why we buy the Deli Max. I'm sorry, I just went off on a whole tangent about.
Oh, you're good. I was getting ready to go off on
I
a tangent
love
myself.
I love
I'm
food.
totally. They say they all clue in them say I'm ADHD, rabbit, squirrel. I truly am.
Dude, when we went to go to Maddie's memorial last time, I was live and there was a squirrel on the side of the road and I'm like, squirrel, and it was just no pun intended at all, but the chat was laughing. I was like, well, this is my little bean. It's my grandpuppy.
The
I'll
bean.
turn the volume up.
You're all pissed off at me? Come here.
Oh yeah, when we just did her nails again. She was mad at me for about 30 minutes.
She's like, fuck you, dude.
She was not a happy bean.
No, she was not happy at me the other day. I did her nails, but I figured out a method.
I told you guys you should get one of those hammock hanger things.
Well,
and
that's what
hang
I
her in
did,
the
but
closet.
I did it with a shirt, and I made the girls hold the shirt. I cut 4 holes in a t-shirt, a collared t-shirt, and stuck her little legs in there, and
Have you seen those, Kimber?
What?
The hammocks you put your dog in on, it's got the 4 holes and you hang them from like a closet rail or like I guess a shower rack. And
Well,
you can clip their nails.
Well, now my 2 little ones, we can pick them up and I can clip their nails. My pit mix, she's 60 pounds, and the only place I can get hers clipped is at the vet. So I run her down there. It's like $25. So I run her down there about every 6 to 8 weeks, get her nails cut. But now when I take her down there, they don't have to muzzle her. I mean, she loves people anyway, but she will sit down for them and let them cut her nails. No fussing. They don't have to muzzle her, nothing. Because I told them, I said, if y'all have to muzzle her, that's not. She just sits there and lets them do it.
Hello, Carly. Hey, Dandy. I'm actually sitting next to my kitty.
So Trippy cast in my backstage. You got to show your face. Nobody else can see it on panel, but you got to show your face.
But what's going on?
No, not that face. You got to show your face so I can make sure it is a face.
Can I not see backstage?
No, only I can see backstage. You only have one face? Well, that face is not going to work to get on this panel. Sorry.
Well, let's see his face. Or just show your face and then get up here and say what you gotta say.
Well, I can't do that.
If you think I'm going to bomb you.
Check your channel. I have over 1,000 subs.
Yeah, we get that. We understand
I understand that. Like, I totally understand that. But I don't know who you are.
We kind of just preferred that, if you're gonna get up on panel, and we at least show. I mean, here. How about this? I feel ugly myself right now. I'll get up here and I'll show my face with you. How about that?
I'll take the ping screen down for a minute here, or my protection screen. But I'm not gonna pull you up till you show me your face.
Here,
So y'all don't understand people don't show their faces. He said, so y'all don't understand people don't show their faces.
I mean, like, we all...
I mean, I ain't got nothing to hide. This is my face. No filters. So if you have over... That's what I thought. If you have over 1,000 subs, then show me your face. Can one of the mods... Let's see. Actually, I'll do it. Trippy Cast. Let's see who you are. I believe I know who that was, but that's not the channel name that they use.
I mean, it's really... I didn't see them in chat. They're more so in the stream chat.
No, it's a creator.
I get that, but I don't see them in the actual chat.
Looks like a gamer. Was that Sushi? Oh, they're live. Why would you come in my chat if you're live? That don't make no sense. Okay, you're good. You can cover it up.
Interesting, right? Hello.
Hey, it's just to keep body parts off panel, man.
I understand
I don't mean no disrespect.
Trust me, I've seen enough of that. I have respect for people's channels, so I'm not about to do that kind of stupid stuff.
Well, welcome up.
How you guys doing tonight? It's what is it? Sunday? It's Sunday, right?
It's Sunday.
Yeah.
Did you guys hit up the church, or what do you guys usually do on Sundays?
Sundays are my chill day. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I agree. Sometimes I just do my hair on Sundays. See that? Look, it's like a helmet.
Oh, okay. I see what you got going on. So it's kind of like the okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's
there we go. Now I'm a Super Saiyan.
Hey,
it's kind of like a what though?
No, I've seen different streamers use. I can't remember the damn name of it. It's where they use God, any other day of the week.
I got a balloon for you.
No,
there you go. You give that to Doggy.
Oh, thank you.
That's on the tip of my tongue.
VTuber?
VTuber. There you go. But that's different. I haven't seen a VTuber client like that before. That's like 2D art. It's actually pretty dope.
Normally, I drew everything myself.
Yeah, normally that's what I was saying. It's pretty. Normally, you see the 3D VTuber models that people do in like Blender and stuff, and that's pretty that's neat. I like how that works.
You know what? You give me a phone call later. There you
go. Nice.
I'll pick up my 80s brick phone, and you pick up yours, and we'll see if they work.
Welcome in.
Pretty dope.
I got a million of them. I just keep pulling them out of my desk. Doesn't seem to matter where I throw them.
That's pretty awesome.
But aside from that...
Are you a gamer?
Nah, not anymore. I used to do some gaming videos, but... yeah, you know what I mean? Just got old. Got real old real fast.
I
It
get
tends to go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I was literally sitting back there on my stream. I was just gonna make an American flag hat, and then some lady started yelling at me and telling me I was boring. So I was like, "Oh,
What?
still gonna make the American flag hat." So
So people on this platform, man.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but
Oh, dude, I've been everything. Like you name it, name a bad thing that can happen to a person on YouTube. It's happened to me. I just keep on moving forward, inching forward, I should say. Just barely scraping the frick by, you know.
I get it. I do. I just recently left a bunch of projects myself that I felt like I was kind of pushing, and I just much rather do the end user enjoy thing. Just gotta sit
Oh
back
yeah.
and
Do y'all
actually,
have Streamlabs or Stream Elements or anything?
I do. I don't use it though when I'm gonna pull people up.
Oh, I was just gonna say, hey, you guys should donate to the channel. I was just gonna do one of those little shout outs to you. Like,
Yeah,
go reach deep into
I
your
don't
wallet.
use it very often. If I'm like doing like like a manhunt or something like that, I'll use it. But I don't normally use it when I'm gonna pull up on a panel, have an open panel, because it's just too much trouble to pull people up. So if I'm doing like
Manhunt.
multiple screens with like everything going on, then I'll have it up. But I generally just
What do
use
you mean by
stream
manhunt?
like a
Is it a
manhunt,
website?
like a prison inmate that escapes.
Oh,
You
well,
have
that's
like
pretty
streamers.
cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty
yeah,
cool. I
but I
thought
don't.
you were going to talk about the. How do I YouTube this? PDF file? I thought that's what you were going to say.
Oh no, no.
I had to remember the YouTube phrasing for it, so it's not like gross. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I thought
Mhm.
you were going to say because I know a couple people that are hunters like that, and it's like, oh, okay, interesting. I like the whole tracking down the people on the run from the police. That's pretty cool.
Yep,
I don't know
we do all
anybody that
kinds.
does that though. How did I end up here?
We're
I
true
don't know.
crime.
We're true crime, murder, missing,
There you
paranormal.
okay.
Yes, we are true crime. Murder, missing, paranormal, you name it.
Anything unexplained, unidentified.
Mm-hmm.
oh, so I'm guessing, Trip. Do you go to different kind of like surf streams or stream surf?
Yeah, sometimes I do. I mean, that's how you make some friends online.
Well,
You
yeah.
know,
Networking.
yeah, pretty much. Like I don't like I'm not one of those people that would show up in a StreamYard and do something deplorable to somebody and then expect something good to come of it.
I get it,
But like,
man.
I'll show up and I'll show people my cartoon. You know, I'm overly proud of them.
Give you a step.
You should be. That's a
I
pretty
got all
good
sorts of tricks.
cartoon.
No, thank you. Yeah, I can make him. I can do the walking trip.
Should
He
give
just
him.
walks
You
from
should
one
let him
side to
get an
the other.
investigator. Like send him the investigator and let him see if he can use it in his
And just walking
GUI
around.
prompt.
It's
That'd be
on
pretty
my
cool.
community wall.
I got a bunch of crap.
Um,
I'm a mechanic. I work at cars.
Oh man, you know what this makes me think of? Like how close to Sweet Tooth that is.
Mm.
That's like
Somebody
really.
else recently said that too.
Yeah, it's really the design is just really close to Sweet Tooth. It's actually really cool. The longer I look at it, the more I notice.
Yeah, somebody else said that, and I'm like, I didn't take any inspiration from Sweet Tooth.
No. I could just like
You know,
it's just
it's
something
interesting.
about the mask design that kind of clowns and the porcelain clowns all in it. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like he can't. Sweet Tooth can't do that. I don't think.
No, I don't think so. It's pretty
Doing,
dope.
doing, doing, doing. Just acting stupid. I'm a clown. I'm here for your amusement.
Oh man,
Just got an itch on the back of my head. Though.
that's pretty dope.
I learned that from my
That is
cat.
fast.
See, because like most people, they do like the full motion. They do like but nobody does like hand animation anymore. I feel like it's a lost
Mhm.
art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they pick up like a pre-made puppet and they just
Or
work with
or
that.
just
That's like,
or just like I was saying earlier with the VR. God, VTubers. There you go. The damn VTubers. They just pick a preset model. It'd be like a wolf person or some kind of mystical character. And you don't see stuff like this anymore. People don't do this anymore. It reminds me of the old ages of YouTube when YouTube used to be really good.
Hi,
Yeah,
Salty.
I was around back then.
You know what I mean?
Had Booty Pie and everybody.
I'm just having
Now
some
they've all
Trippios.
got big.
Nom, 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 nom. I have a commercial on my channel for this. Trippios. Doesn't even make
Nice.
it fat.
Yes.
They don't even make it fat. At least, well, the company
Pretty
keeps
dope.
telling me to stop saying that they don't make it fat. But like, it only put me in a diabetic coma one time. So
You
I
got
still
your
think they're
sub from
wrong.
me, bro.
Thank you.
Here.
I dropped your link in chat. Everybody go sub up.
Oh, thank you.
Let's
I really
help grow a
appreciate that.
channel.
Yeah, it's been hard. And I'm actually
It is hard.
diabetic. So if you give me your love, it'll stop me from being there's something. I don't even know what I was going to say. Don't know where I was
Oh,
going
let's see.
there.
You got some GTA Online content. So you play PC or?
Yeah, now I do.
Oh, okay.
Rarely, though. Like, I rarely do the GTA
Rarely.
thing. Basically, with all my PC games, I've just been using, like, bits and pieces of those for my streams. Like, I have a game show that I've been working on. I just didn't do it this week. So it's like, I don't know what to do with my stream today. And I had a friend coming on, and he just goes, I don't care what we do. I'm just bored. So we chilled. We talked about a bunch of crap. Insane Clown Posse was one of the topics. Furries. And we just kind of just chilled for a while. And now, I don't know.
Oh
Here's
my!
South
This is
Park knee.
from. I bet this was from. I just had a question. It's a 27-second clip on your channel for GTA 5. It's a first-person snowball fight. Is that from the original like PS3, Xbox 360 clan, or?
No, the Xbox One when it first came out.
Well,
Like when the
that's
one
like
first
an
came
able
out, that first
I
Christmas.
got kicked out alive. I tried to. Oh, cool! That's sick. I love that. That is gnarly. That is crazy. I love it.
Yeah, I think I killed one of my friends or something with a snowball.
That's great.
Says he's
No,
a
I was
furry.
talking about your the South Park character. That's so dope.
Oh, well, thank you. He's got a little cigarette.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Truth, I think that's a different kind of furry.
That's not. What the hell is going
Wait a
on
minute.
with chat?
You got a furry in chat. I
Minnie,
wasn't
you
talking
would
about
love
you as a
Truth.
furry.
No,
Link
what
is at the top of the chat.
That's not a furry.
I was talking about juggalo furries, literally.
Oh, what?
And I was like,
That's a
man, if the
thing?
juggalos started all being furries, that would be something I wouldn't
sorry,
want to associate with. You know,
I mean,
just because.
I mean, I don't really. It's not that I'm that kind of guy that I don't care if they're furries or not. That's their business. But I mean, at the end of the day, just don't try to plug me with a tail, and we're good.
Yeah.
This ain't a game.
Noticed something
This ain't a
too.
game of pin tail on the donkey. That's for damn sure.
I noticed something with this puppet that I screwed up. I don't know where along the way, but if I try to look to one side, it does the whole face. And I'm like, oh no, it wasn't supposed to do this.
Like it's supposed to like do a pitch, try to do like a
the
rotation
eyeballs were
pitch.
supposed to actually move by themselves. I gotta get in there and fix that at some point.
The eyeball,
yeah,
they kind of move. I see. Were you trying to like pivot his head to get his head to like pivot?
No, I was just trying to make the eyes go one way and the other. You know, like look to the left, look to the right, up, down.
But I wonder if you can set like a frame to pivot your head if you go to turn your head.
I can. I just haven't actually
Pivot
figured
my
that out yet.
Pivot my head passionately.
Oh Lord!
Wait. What? Oh, hey, welcome.
This is
Thank you for
BFH
your welcome.
Media.
Big fucking hand.
That
I
was
going to
say
Truth.
buff.
If you say
Media.
well, I'll come.
Hey,
Why,
yo.
DJ?
Oh, yeah?
Hey, love.
When did we start?
There's no way you're gonna come before I do.
You didn't learn from the best, my mom.
Oh God,
Lord.
look, dude. I always tell people I'm really good at sex because I finish first. That's how you know you win.
Challenge accepted.
Oh shit!
It's
Kimber, how are you?
I don't know how true it is either. But yeah, like I was talking about stupid crap I do on my channel. I do interviews now. I had my buddy JJ Stoner come on most recently, and we talked about everything under the sun. Game shows. I like my game show, but today I was lazy. And then I do a Wednesday show. So Wednesday, Friday, Sunday is when I do my stuff. And yeah, like you were asking about gaming, I just kind of gave that part up. I had a bunch of people tell me they were like, "Yeah, it's pretty old games you're playing there."
I try to arc. Well, the reason I just noticed a little bit of that. It just looked. I don't know. I'm a connoisseur of video games, so I like dead projects. I like dead projects a lot. I like trying to revive dead projects or trying to understand why certain projects died out. And I like old games too, so like really old games. So
Don't touch me there. I'll pee out of that. That's my
oh
spot.
Jesus, what is that?
You know, there's a quote from Benjamin Franklin that says, "If you put your penis on it, nobody else can eat that sandwich."
Well,
Says who?
I mean, I think
Benjamin Franklin.
What was his name? Syphilis, Sophocles,
I
whatever
have a
his dead
better
name
thing.
is.
If you put your penis on that sandwich, who would want to eat it?
Well, I mean, once you do that, you have to be the person to eat it.
Oh my
See,
God!
this is what I
I
get
thought we
for
were
going
singing a
over and
song. I
corrupting
apologize.
Killshot's
About
chat.
it. Think about it this way: every hand you've ever shaken has had a dick in it.
Not every hand.
I mean,
Every
I never go
hand.
lefty.
Just
Not
about.
every hand.
Wait, you don't go
Well,
lefty?
okay, let me
tried it a couple
rephrase
times,
that.
never mind.
Most adult hands you've shaken have had dicks in them.
Y'all,
That-
okay, I took one gummy. I'm
pretty true.
currently chewing on another gummy right now.
Oh fuck!
I'm
Kimber,
Yeah,
it's
your
not
name's
surprising
Kimber.
that you once again have something in your mouth, madam.
A few
Kimber.
years ago, this woman, Kimber,
Timber.
tweeted. She said, "Trippycast just woke up," and I saw the tweet and I was like, "Holy crap! How did she know that?"
Oh my!
Kimber knows.
I
Trippy
still
Cat,
don't
it wasn't
understand how
me.
she knew it.
I assure you, it wasn't me.
Kimber knows. She's
Good.
all
Lie
over these
detector
street
determined that was a lie.
Yeah, a friend of mine actually made fun of that this other Kimber lady,
I will find you.
and he said that her chest
is?
looked like 2 eggs fried and hung on a nail.
Are
She
you
didn't
talking
really like
about
that so
Betty
much.
again?
Oh Lord.
That was this other Kimber lady. She didn't look anything like this lady here, except for she was also blonde. That's like the closest resemblance that they got.
It's got a doppelganger.
Pretty close.
That would be weird.
Doppelganger.
I think it's a
How do you even say
doppelganger,
that?
son.
I was about to say,
Okay,
how do
I'm
you
starting
even
to
say
feel
that?
weird.
Good morning,
yeah.
my waffle girls. How are you?
Wait, waffles?
Waffles.
Yeah, my
See, I'm a
my
critical
girl
thinker.
waffles.
Salty said it, so it's so.
I think somebody was talking about having ADD or ADHD earlier, and somebody said that, like, if that
That's
just
me. Squirrel.
that's me,
Squirrel.
waffles.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Where are you coming into us from, my girl waffles? Are you across the pond?
My wife
I
told
thought
me to
you said
stop.
micro
Listen,
waffles.
my wife told me to stop impersonating a flamingo. I had to put my fucking foot down.
Wait, what?
Flamingos
Hold
are
on.
beautiful.
Oh, Lord.
Give me a second. I gotta register on.
I
hold
might
on.
have to take another gummy.
Kimber's gonna be
I have to
fried.
put my
Just
foot
slow
down.
down on those gummies.
I
You're
feel
gonna
like
eat all gummy.
I went to buy some camo pants today, but I couldn't find any.
oh shit.
Oh,
Okay,
did it?
now I feel stupid for not getting the last one.
Australia.
Run that other
Welcome
one by
in.
me again.
I failed math so many times I can't even count.
Oh. See,
I mean, that seems like a given. You know, they make a camouflage condom so that they'll never see you coming.
That would be
hey,
horrible.
look, he's
Then I could
fucking
never find it.
spawned. Check that shit out. Nice.
When life gives you
Yes, I
melons,
come from hell
you
to
might
host
want
a
to.
live show.
Well,
I'm
I wore
sorry.
this
I'm
as a
sorry.
costume for Halloween, and I can't get it off.
don't you hate it when someone answers their own questions? I do.
Man, that's me at 3:00 in the morning trying to reverse engineer a game. Why am I talking to myself? Quit answering. Oh,
You know,
Stop answering yourself. That's what makes
it
you
takes
crazy.
a lot. It
That'd
takes
be
a
better
lot
than
of
calling
balls
your
to
mother
fall
who
for it.
has no clue what you're doing.
I mean,
It's like they say, you can talk to God, but when he starts talking back, you might want to go see a psychiatrist. Isn't that what they say?
I guess it
Y'all just,
depends on. I guess
y'all just put
it
my
depends
dog to
on what
sleep.
he
Y'all
says,
bad.
not what they say.
Duchess, welcome
Hi,
in,
Well, they
hon.
say,
Duchess.
you know how
It's a
they say that
Mod
money
Podge
money
live.
talks. Mine always says goodbye.
Yeah, it's sad. That's
I
a
think this
total
guy should
mood.
get fired. Can we fire this guy?
The
We
comedic
love
Well,
truth.
since you
comedic
said that,
relief is
hold on.
Okay.
Since you said that, I can't believe I got fired from the calendar factory. All I did was take a day off.
oh my god.
Well,
Fucking the
Lenny,
dad
as they
jokes
say
are
in the tampon
unreal.
No,
biz,
I only
right?
got 12. I only got
Oh.
12 gummies left. I don't even know if I got enough gummies for y'all.
She's like, I don't know if I have enough It's like I don't even have dad jokes this good, so I'm kind of jealous.
My wife just found out I replaced her bed with a trampoline, though. That's kind of fucked up. She hit the ceiling.
Nice.
I personally, I don't know about y'all. We all have addictions. I personally am addicted to the hokey pokey, but then I turned myself around, so we're good.
Well,
Hey,
shit. AA is always good.
I used to think
it's
I
a
Well,
was
guys,
step
always
as
up.
they
into high
Step
say
forward.
in the tampon biz, I'll see you next period.
Yeah, that
Oh
too.
fuck.
I used
Oh
to think
my
I was
God.
indecisive, but now I'm not sure.
Oh, he dropped on us.
Oh,
Back to the family.
wait,
Did you know
What
that
he dropped?
what?
Did you know that Russian dolls are full of themselves?
They are.
They
They are.
truly are.
Little stuffy, too.
I kind of feel sad. Dude just dipped out of stream.
He dipped out on. He was live. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I went and
Trippy
checked
dipped
his
out.
channel.
Trippy
well,
dipped out.
for real, everybody go sub up.
I wasn't being mean, but yeah, you got to show me your face so I can make sure it's not your peen.
Yeah.
What
If
he
my
do?
face
Show you a
looks like
face
my
of the
face?
clown?
Yeah, he said he only had one face. Well, you're not coming up here with just a clown face unless I know your voice, because I
Well,
don't
I
play no
think
games.
I get what. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
gotta be careful. No dicks on chat. No dicks in
I've
chat,
had,
please.
like I said, I've never had like somebody actually full blown like show their member, but I did have that one jerk off that stood
I
in front
wouldn't
of a
call
mirror
him
and
jerk off.
oh
What?
yeah, he was a jerk off because he stood in front of a mirror with a lotion bottle and like squirted a lotion bottle into the mirror, and I was like,
You're
"Wow,
like,
you're
dude, give me the
an
real
adult."
thing if you're gonna show me the whole thing, man.
I mean, if
Hey
Don't
you're
be
gonna
showing
yo,
me
porn
a
bomb my
lotion
channel,
bottle.
at least
chat
make it
is
worth
going.
it.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
right. Show me the whole thing, man.
You might as well just send me some gummies at this point. Shit.
You don't need gummies. You eat too many of them.
I do. I ate a whole fucking oh my god, my birthday! I ate 25 fucking gummies in 3 days. Jesus Christ!
I had a
And the
friend
old
that
lady
used to
had to
get.
take them.
I had a friend that used to get the best. She used to get the best tincture from her nephew, and I did some one time, and I'm like, this ain't doing nothing. We went and ate, and I could after we ate, I guess that gave it the right stuff to get through my bloodstream. I couldn't stop laughing. I laughed and my face hurt. She goes, "You want to go in Kroger?" I'm like, "I don't really think I should."
Could you smell colors?
Oh,
I can
Salty
smell
was here
colors.
and
Salty
Salty's
left
gone.
us.
She'll be back.
Guys, I dropped Duchess's link in the chat. If you're here, if you're on We Play Clue and you are not subbed up to Dutchie, make sure you sub up to Dutchie. Also, I can't. Truth's link is also in chat. So I'm going to call you BFF Media by George. I'm going to
First
screw
of
that
all,
all up.
I have to change my page name because everybody was having a real hard time finding my page. So I went under the search and put in BFH Media, and there's like 80 of them motherfuckers. Am I allowed to
Uh-uh.
cuss over here?
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
monetized.
All right. So yeah, like I had there's well, maybe not 80, but there's a shit ton of them. So I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board. I may just go with truth, not feelings, and leave it at that. But I was trying to make it kind of like I would be separate from the actual media channel so that I could do my own thing when I didn't want the channel to be associated. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of separate the two. But I don't think that's gonna work too well.
See, I
You
tell
can
you what
still
I do.
brand it like on your banner. Like I haven't even
Yeah.
looked at your channel. Let's creep Truth's channel.
I
Is
don't
that-
have
Where
it.
did
I have
the
nothing
girl?
set
Where
up.
did the girl
I
Salty
have a
go?
good idea. I have a good idea. Hear me out, right? So I had an issue with the whole branding idea about a while ago, right? And My thing is somebody camped my fucking name. I was the only person on the internet with my particular name, and I won't say my name on chat because they're in live because it's inappropriate for the pastime of this channel.
Yeah, do not share that name on here.
Regardless, I went and picked my name, and I went to go rebrand my name in Discord because in the Discord you can see my actual name. But I went to go rebrand my name, and somebody had camped on my name because Discord had a date change from where they stopped using hash numbers as identifiers for user accounts, and they just switched over to straight usernames. So somebody camped my name. They must have seen me in the server. So I got the idea is like if you remember a couple years ago, everybody started making fake Donald Trump accounts, right? And to be able to tell the real Donald Trump from everybody else, he quite frankly made a Twitter account called The Real Donald Trump. So you could do like The Real BFH Media, or you could do The Real Truth, you know, and then go from there. I don't just a thought.
See how mine
Just a
is?
thought.
I've got my banner up there, Truth. So that banner is across all my social media. So if you go to my Twitter account, my banner's on my Twitter account. If you go to my channel Facebook, it's on there too. So that way I'm easy to find and it matches. So you can take like your channel name and make it Truth Not Feelings because that's what we all know you as. And it'll be easier for people to find you because that's what they're used to hearing. And then take your banner and do this badass graphic that you have like as a banner.
Well, here's the truth behind it. I have to start putting some money into my shit because all my free trials are coming to an end. So
Free
It
trials of
happens.
what? Of what?
So like I'll be doing a lot more graphic based stuff and editing based stuff with the computer setup I just got.
Oh, do you
And
need
so
Adobe? Do you need Adobe, sir?
I don't know. Listen, won't you send me an email? My email's at the bottom of my picture right here. Truth Not Feelings 1, the number 1 at Gmail.
I
And
got
then
something for you, and
Salty,
you
are
might
you good?
actually need it.
She's getting an echo, I think.
So let me see if I can't pull it up.
I watched that as well. It's pretty interesting to see what's kind of happening right now. I was on I was in a meeting a little while ago, and we were talking over some things. And the
You getting
one thing that, regardless of what you think
Are you
about
getting
the
an
whole,
echo, Salty? Mom, how can she get up here without an echo?
That's whatever
turn
she did the other night. Turn her YouTube off and
you have to turn your YouTube off and any of the anything in the background that you
So
have,
it's
even if it,
She may have done that already.
truth not feelings at gmail.com.
I put it in
one,
back
Truth
chat.
Not Feelings 1. It's in the back chat.
You saw the interview room is live with Steve Johnson saying how KP and CP have guilty behaviors. Good grief. That man, I can't with that man, Duchess. I cannot
well,
with him. He has
that's
a
what
bad background.
that's what I was going to say. I don't know about anybody's background, but I watched that Duchess. I found it interesting, or at least I watched parts of it. I didn't watch all of it, but like I said, I was in a meeting earlier, and I was discussing with some of my team, not YouTube related. And you know, one of the things that's really interesting to me is if you were in the live that was going on earlier. I forget who was doing the live.
You should get that. I just zapped it over to you.
How
I
earlier?
appreciate it. But anyway, you know, she said, hold on. Do you know what the craziest thing is now? When you start looking at this a little bit different, you know, my mind is always running different directions, but the original theories of what happened to Sebastian before all of this circus ever arose, with I'm really starting, and this is my personal opinion. Nobody come at me for this, all right? I really am wondering if, in fact, they do know a car met or was with Sebastian at some point, and if all of the shit that they've said isn't true, and they've been so adamant about it not being true, but then haven't come out with any other information, right? I
Mhm.
feel like the reason why they're being so adamant about it not being true is because it might very well be true.
Yeah, they don't have to give us everything. That's
No,
what a lot of people don't
Actually,
understand.
hold on. Truth, not feelings. Give me one. Actually, use this one.
Go pull up my email.
He
So,
said he wasn't watching the first interview, but he wasn't. Duchess was the first interview. You know, I've heard other people say that, oh, that was, yeah, the so and so had the first interview. No, no, Dutchy had the
Duchess
first
had the first interview because I watched it
The first interview with who though?
with Katie and
Chris
Chris.
and Katie?
Yeah.
Duchess was the first interview with Chris and Katie.
Right,
Mhm.
right. I just think in the next few days we're going to see some crazy shit. I've been saying that for a few days now. I think a lot of people have, but I said within the next 10 days, and we were at like day 86 when I said that, right, Mom?
Yep. Yep.
So
Something like that.
gives us another 6 days or so in my opinion. Hey, Tom boy.
okay, so I kind of want to just give you an overview of what I just sent you. That is the
I bet you're talking.
that is a borrowed copy of the Adobe Flash or Adobe Premiere
YouTube's gonna be set on.
Photoshop collection. And what you do is you take each individual RAR file after they're unzipped and you bring them all into the same root folder. So you would start from the first file and then just drag and drop the contents of the other 3 files into that first file directory, essentially rebuilding all 4 parts of it together so you can just launch the application itself.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Don't use the first link I sent you, because the first link it'll redirect you to advertisements. If you're not familiar with trying to get out of adverts, or if you don't have like uBlock Origin installed, it may take you to like a you must install VPN to use this page client for some bullshit advertisement. But I went ahead and resent you a link with the actual upload.
Yeah, I got it. I went ahead and deleted that one. I didn't even open it.
Yeah. Okay. So
I appreciate it.
That's an actual dumped upload of it. So
Truth, this is my son that's up here with us with the
All right, that works. My next question is: are you sure there's not a virus on this? So that was going to be my next question.
Positive.
Yeah, no.
All right.
He's my tech guy.
Duchess, I'm telling you, it's going to be set on fire. I have a gut feeling. How about that? I have a gut feeling it's going to be set on fire. I also feel like, some certain people should probably decide whether going to CrimeCon is what they want to do, because I mean, there's a little bit of word through the streets that there might be some people that need to be talked to when they get to Nashville. So it should be interesting. I don't know.
Well, Mom, I'm gonna head out for the night. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for coming out, gracing us with your presence.
I mean, I'm sorry for bailing out on the live the other night. I apologize.
It's nice to finally meet you, Mini Monster.
It's nice to meet you too.
Show your face and say hello?
No, not for longer than 30 seconds. I didn't. It's dark. I'm ugly. I've been up since 3 o'clock.
You are not ugly. I make pretty babies.
Uh-huh.
Make pretty babies.
You made one pretty baby, and then you made Bryce.
Damn.
Evil. You're just going to use somebody's government name on panel?
Well, I mean,
me
I'm
too,
sorry.
Duchess. I just want Sebastian to
I'm
be
so
found.
sorry.
Period.
So
It's been
Sean
too
is such
long.
an asshole.
It's about Sebastian, and that's what it needs to be kept about. It needs to be about him, and it needs to be about Sebastian.
I love you guys. Have a good night.
Good to meet you, man.
Love
you. Duchess, I'm right there with you. you know, if you find, you said if you find out someone has the kid Sebastian in this case, I'm gonna be mad as fuck. Yeah.
Mom, did you see Salty's message?
Let me open Discord. I didn't have it open because my swamp signal, it acts crazy.
I agree with you
Is that how I did it
100,000%.
last time? I think that's how I did it last time. Was me
I
and
think
Kimber both
so.
sent you the stream link that way. Let me grab it. Dun, 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 dun. Nope, that's my kid. Where did you send it, my dear?
Oh God, Seth and Tony build a team up with Bullhorn Betty. Oh, titanium built.
They're gonna do what they want to do, so ain't nothing's gonna change that. No screaming. You can scream it from the rooftops. You can scream it from the top of the Batman building downtown. Nothing's gonna change it. Nothing's gonna change if he teams up with Bullhorn Betty or Tony or the creature from the Black Lagoon. Nothing's gonna change it.
Salty, you sent me a Discord? I'm
No,
seeing
I
the.
think you put the disc. I think you sent her the Discord in
That's right.
in I think you sent her the StreamYard in Discord.
Bam. It's in Discord, love. And Mackie, if you can still hear me, honey, I just now saw your message. I didn't have Discord open.
Which is, I completely understand. 110% understand. Not even mad at you at all. It's just everybody seems to know better than law enforcement. That's just crazy to me.
The one thing I don't know better than is law enforcement. That's why I'm waiting on them. When they're ready, they'll come out and say.
I mean, listen, I can get why people are uneasy because there have been cases in this state that haven't been solved, but there have been cases in every state that haven't been solved.
I get why they're uneasy too. But here's my thing, just like we talked about the other night. And I realize, don't get me wrong, Sebastian is important. Sebastian does matter. But all of the other children that are missing in this state, they matter too. So you have to, and Sebastian's close, and I get it. I get there's a public outcry, but there's other children missing in this state as well. So if those other parents are upset, I get that too. At the end of the day, I would get that because if I was one of the parents of these other missing children, where's the attention for them?
Yeah, I think me and mom are going to go into next week and do some diving into the Ledbetter case. I think that should be interesting for some people to come watch because it's something that just hasn't gotten a lot of publicity. And to be honest with you, that family, certain members of that family, will probably try to come for mine in her head once we start bringing some attention to it because they do not, and I mean they do not like attention on the case.
Yeah, I've
Certain
covered her
people, not
case, and
all
they
of
said
them.
I had pushback in the comments within, I'd say, an hour of posting the first video, and that didn't stop
Yeah.
me. I just posted 3 or 4 more, and then recently I did Barefoot and Blonde missing, vanished without a trace, and I put her in there and Summer and Michaela, which
Yeah.
Michaela's one of my cases. Like one of my, I mean, not like my case, like I don't own the case, but that's one of the families that came to me outside of the community. I don't even remember exactly what happened. Yeah, I do. I saw Michaela's story on a channel that I wouldn't shout out if he was the last damn channel on YouTube. And Doug Bishop was talking about Michaela Standridge. And I don't chat in a lot of places. I be all off in your bushes, but you will very rarely see me chat in very many channels. And I got a hold of Doug Bishop and was like, hey, you know, what's going on with this? And then me and him spent several hours on the phone talking about the case. And then I did just a short video because generally I won't touch a case without a family member like reaching out to me. Like that's not like I'll share the faces. I might make a little video or something, but I'm not going to be like live and do a whole thing until I talk to a family member because I've dealt with this firsthand personally and everything I've seen here. I don't want to do that to a family. So
Right.
I waited and I had a friend of the family reach out to me and was like, "Hey, you know, I know you're a smaller channel, but would you did such a great video. Would you help?" And I got online and, you know, I looked and I was like, "She doesn't even have a flyer. What the hell?" So I messaged the Skagit family has corrected me many times. The Skagit County Sheriff's Department. And I get an email back from him, and I read the damn email on a live one night. Just like disregard, complete disregard. Oh, it's a small police station. We just don't have time, you know. Da 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 da. They tell the family, oh, she's an addict. Blah 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 blah. All this other crap. And I made her a flyer. I made her several flyers, but I made her one of my original flyers I make for everybody. It's like a white background. It's got the person's information on it, and I shared it out. Well, then I interviewed her aunt, and her aunt is, and this is known because we talked about it on my channel. She's a bounty hunter, so she doesn't show her face when she comes on panel. When she goes on the news, they show her boots. You know what I mean? She does not show her face for her own safety. So I went into that whole case, and I caught so much shit from the other side of the family that it was unreal. And I don't mean like cousins and uncles, and you know, I'm talking like immediate family because they didn't like one of the flyers that I made. It was too flashy. Well, it wasn't a flyer that I made. I was asked to do a, I guess it's still a flyer, poster, whatever, with all different kinds of pictures and make it bright and beautiful. And that's what I did. And she didn't like it. And she came at me for it. But I was still working with the main person that reached out to me and was like, hey, I can't get any help. Will you help? Well, when I grabbed a hold of her case, then Dietz shared my live, and that's how me and Dietz met. Dietz on the street. Because I was just looking for something to watch one day, and I go in there and I'm like, that's my live. Oh shit, hey, what's up? That's me. You know? And that's how me and Dietz met. And then we got her a billboard up, and we ran her billboard for a really long time in the area. I mean, she's been missing, what, a year at this point? Yeah. We just had her year anniversary of her missing. And, you know, I keep her face out there. I keep her name out there and everything. And then, of course, you know, when it rains, it pours. They've had deaths in the family and all this other stuff come up. And, you know, and her aunt is going to be sometime. You guys make sure you hit the bell and keep your notifications on because we are going to go back and we're going to revisit her case because it's important to revisit cases. There's a lot that she can't talk about publicly, but there's a lot that she can talk about publicly. So just a few developments that have come about. You know, somebody saw what happened. This girl called 911 screaming into the phone for help and didn't get help. And she's a mom of a little boy that doesn't understand why his mom's not around anymore. And it just it's a case I hold really, really close to my heart.
That's I want to hear more about it for sure. And I think you're right. They need to be revisited. I've done that with Tiffany's case several times. We've done it again recently, and figuring out the next move. You know, because you got to keep things out there, and doing it with integrity is so important. And doing it right to protect the families because it can get crazy so fast, and we all know that.
Just like what Duchess
you do amazing
said.
work. You do amazing work, Duchess. And I wish I hadn't have missed that chat you did the other night. I thought I had my notifications on for you, and I wish I hadn't have missed that because the problem is that there's so much drama surrounding one case, and everybody's gotten so involved in the drama of Sebastian, they're forgetting that they're more interested in the drama, so they're forgetting that there are other missing children out there, and they're not watching for other missing cases. And I
Yeah.
was guilty of it too before, but I don't want to be guilty of it anymore because I don't I'm not worried about the rest of it anymore. I just want Sebastian home. That's what I want. I want Sebastian home safe. I can't worry about the rest anymore. Can't do it.
No, it's
It's too
I was
consuming.
just I was on Twitter a little while ago, and who did I say it was? Kimber, was it SF? Put out a statement, and he's like, I'm
Yep.
going to offer another unsolicited tactic here, basically. And he went on to say that what everyone needs to do at this point is the same thing I said today. Ignore Seth and Tony, all of social media. Just ignore them. They'll go the fuck away. Just ignore them. And Chloe, he said, and remember, SF and Chloe, he has a lot of respect for her, but he cannot work with her personally. It is what it is. It's a personal deal. He'll tell you it's a personality thing. Other than that, he's got the utmost respect for that woman and her credentials. And he said she's down there searching and she needs to lead a team of nationally trained searchers to come in and coordinate with law enforcement, which is what I've been saying. Not like everybody, gang up and go gangbusters into the woods. You cannot do it that way. So there are things that constructively that could be talked about to be done and to hopefully kind of push towards instead of all the drama involved, because it's not going to help bring any of these children home or any of the people, just protecting these families because you don't,
Yep.
it can get crazy with those families and they don't deserve it because they're already going through hell.
Facts. Facts. So Duchess says I covered another case Friday night, a missing mom who has 5 small kids. I barely had 40 people come over, but that's okay because that was 40 people who cared enough to hear this mom speak. This is the flyer.
Amen.
This is the flyer. It's on my Twitter. So I shared this on Twitter, and as of today, she has 476 views. Now, Twitter works the same way a lot as what YouTube does. I can share something of me just
Yeah.
having a complete and total meltdown about something and get 50,000 views on Twitter. A missing person that which I had a couple of people that are in organizations like Black and Missing grabbed her poster and retweeted it. And that means so much to do that, to share these cases that are not getting
Yes.
attention.
And the sad thing is, Mom, you're right, because when I'm on Twitter, I will see some of the stuff you do post, but not all of it. And I don't have notifications on for everybody because a lot of them I don't care, but certain things I do. And even your lives, I haven't been getting your notifications for your lives. And that the other night when we came up and talked to you, Kimber was one that told me you were on. I was like, well, let's go. I was like, I'm glad you said that because I didn't even get a notification. And I had checked like a day or two prior to that to make sure yours were on. Because during the Idaho case, I went and unsubscribed to a lot of people and I turned off notifications for a ton of stuff. Right. So I make sure the people I don't want to miss, I have them on. But I double checked and I did have them on, but I still didn't get it. So I'm going to keep, I'm going to keep an eye on that.
Click your bell off and then click it back on. Sometimes that helps.
Yeah. Okay.
I told her you almost hung up on me tonight when I told you she was live. I said she went to get her something to eat, and I said I told her mom's on. She goes,
Yes.
"Oh, our
Look,
friend." I said she almost hung up on me.
I was laughing earlier because I was already one gummy in and had coffee, and then I was like hungry. So then I already have now I'm 2 in because Kimber, I had to be in competition. I'm like, oh no, she can't be 2 in. I got to be 2 in. So now I'm 2 in as well.
Love you,
And I got my
Duchess.
patty melt cooked and ate it. I'm good to go.
Hell yeah.
I want to read this short article, and it has to do with Caitlin Ledbetter. And when you hear, are y'all in the comments or on the panel, other than Mom, familiar with the Caitlin Ledbetter case out of Tennessee?
No.
I'm not.
So I'm going to read the description of what is supposed to have happened that night, and then I'll let Mom say a couple things because I know she knows a lot about the case too. This case is super unique, and it is full of more pit holes than any case I've ever seen. And it's really sad because this young woman is a mother, and there's just a lot of things. But I'm going to read it real quick if y'all don't mind. It says young woman jumps out of her bedroom window barefoot, wearing only pajamas. She runs into dense woods and disappears off the face of the earth. Her friends and supporters are saying law enforcement totally failed Caitlin Ledbetter. It is a rough place surrounded by rough terrain. Turkeytown Road in Hillham, Tennessee is a place where bad things happen. Caitlin Ledbetter was a quiet 26-year-old woman who lived with her dad and his girlfriend. She worked and stayed out of trouble until cool May morning in 2021. On that morning, her father, Scotty Ledbetter, told police that after getting in an argument with his girlfriend, Caitlin jumped out of her bedroom window and ran off into the woods. Quote, she was wearing a crop top type shirt or a crop top t-shirt, pajama shorts, no shoes. She had no cell phone. She didn't have a vehicle or a car. And he said that he saw her last. When he saw her last, she was headed out into the woods. Terry Luftus knew Caitlin well because she was the longtime girlfriend of her son, Dustin. It's been 18 long months, and every day feels like another nail in Caitlin's coffin. She's missed her birthdays, her family's birthdays, special occasions. No sound has come from her, nothing. And I still don't understand why she would have jumped out the window with that argument. Why didn't she go out the front door? So nothing about it really makes sense. Let's see. Some of the roughest terrain, that area of Hillman is where Jackson County and Clay County and Overton kind of converge. And it's nothing but hills and hollers and steep declines. And it's not something that I would even be happy about going if I had the gear that I needed to. So it's real bad terrain.
So I'm sorry. Let
Yeah.
me ask you. How old was she?
26.
And she jumped out of a window instead of using the door.
Yeah, so there's a lot of backstory
And
on.
okay, and then the dad, the last time he saw her, she was going into the woods.
He watched her jump out of the
Okay.
window and run into the woods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mom, what do
Okay.
you have to say on that?
Caitlin's case is it's one of those cases that are part of the murder board of Cookville, and that's how I got brought in on Caitlin's case. It's a case that has a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of people that you have to be very careful when you encounter them
Right.
because there are myself and other people that have gotten death threats, which I openly made it very clear that you are more than welcome to come try me, but you're probably going to leave with the coroner because I'm
Well,
not the one.
you're in Florida. We have stand your ground laws.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that's
We
what I'm
have
saying
those
is
in Tennessee too.
Yeah, we
I'm
have
not the
Tennessee
one,
too.
and
Yay
I
for
don't back
y'all.
down.
We
I don't
uh
back
we
down.
don't even we don't even have we have stand your ground, but I think like Florida, we also have no retreat policy. So we don't have to
Yes.
retreat before standing our ground.
And
Yes.
in Tennessee we can open or close carry without a permit too.
Yeah,
Yes.
Florida
We
is
don't have to
not
have a permit.
open, but yeah, it's it is what it is. But in the South, we're all used to that type of stuff anyway. People don't realize that. I don't think it's always been the culture that it is what it is. So, but yeah, we can stand our ground. But it can. That's the sad part, Mom. You can just because you're trying to help find or locate someone, that it can get dangerous like that, and the
Well,
stuff that could happen out here on the YouTube world could even couple that with that already makes it even more
And then
dangerous in some way.
somebody takes it real life.
well,
Mm-hmm.
here's the reason. Because that street that she lived on is known
Yeah.
to be probably the most dangerous street in that part of Tennessee. Maybe potentially all of Tennessee, including Memphis. It's where
Well,
a
hold
lot of
on. Okay.
it's
Well,
where a,
now I'm trying to visualize because you're saying it's a dangerous street. So
yeah.
is it backed up to some woods,
Yeah, so it's in the
like
country,
rural?
right?
Yeah,
It's
because I'm in the
real
I know.
rural.
Okay.
And it's like where all your meth houses are, your meth
Oh,
labs
okay. I
are, and
got you.
where
Like
yeah,
the bad part of the tiny town. I'm in a tiny town, so
yeah.
I totally get what you mean. All right, I'm with you.
That and a lot of prostitution and people hiding out from law enforcement and a lot of camps back in those
Mm,
woods and people that are hiding from people. But more than that, within the family, respectfully, there's more questions there. I would almost put my money on one particular person just off of what I know, but I think it's way closer to home than anybody from the outside.
Ooh, that's the second time I've heard that phrase in a missing persons case. That gave me chills almost. Okay.
What do you think, Mom?
Huh.
Do you think it's likely that it's someone within the family or friend range?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Right.
I do
You'd
because
have
Caitlin's
to
not the
figure
only
out.
person that.
Did you ever hear what the argument was about?
Yeah, I know what I heard what the argument was about.
Yeah.
There were some accusations made about certain things inside the house, you know, things like that.
Things that were going on inside the home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then for her to get into the argument with the girlfriend of the day.
That was her dad's girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay.
She's no longer with us.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So she argues with dad's girlfriend at the age of 26. Instead of leaving out the front door and storming out, I'm pissed. She jumps out the window and runs into the woods.
In her,
Barefooted.
in her pajamas and no shoes.
All right. Well, let me. I have to ask this kind of question just because my brain is automatic with these cases. Was there anything else going on with her, Mom? Truth that y'all know of or aware of? Like, do you know what I mean, Mom? Like, was she prone to having episodes or something or anything like that and doing something strange?
So my understanding is that Caitlin suffered and battled with mental health issues, just like a lot of people do.
But that don't mean you're going to jump out the window though and run into the
No,
woods, huh?
no. I agree. I'm just kind of giving you said inside
No,
the house.
I understand. I just want people. I'm not trying to say that would be the reason she would do that because I totally get. I'm with you there. It doesn't mean
There
that.
were some
Yeah.
accusations, and I'm not sure of how they were proven, so I need to be very careful how I say this. But there were supposedly some accusations about activities inside of the house that were inappropriate.
Oh, okay. If that went on for a long time, there's a whole other layer now
Yeah.
of mind fuckery type thing for her, like mind control almost. If that was
Didn't she
that getting
didn't she run away either the day before her birthday or the day after her birthday? Wasn't her birthday real close?
It was close, yeah.
so, was there any kind of alleged abuse going on toward her?
Yeah, by multiple people.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so there's you got to look at the
Multiple play,
boyfriend,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
But the boyfriend supposedly wasn't at the house when it happened. Supposedly, the only people at the house when it happened was the dad and the girlfriend. But I've heard conflicting stories about that there were other people in the house as well. Um, and so it just really depends on who you want to believe, because unfortunately the facts are so
Well, it sounds like
convoluted.
you and Mom didn't know each other before, but you both are aware of this case.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you are lining up with each other. You know what I'm saying? What you're telling me and I can see her reaction to what you're saying. So, yeah.
It's a sad case because I think Caitlin had 2 children, if I'm not mistaken.
Beautiful
And
girl too.
yeah. Of course, there's also been accusations of things involving the young girl as well. Now, once again, accusations don't mean guilt, but real heavy after Caitlin went missing, it was a heavy Facebook, Instagram, kind of push to try to find her. And then all of a sudden, everybody who was, putting out all these posts started getting their Facebook shut down. Boom, 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 boom. And it's strange.
Started getting their accounts closed.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Well, who the hell could orchestrate that and have that done? And why would
I don't really want to talk. I will talk to you about that
no, yeah, because my brain goes fast, and when certain things are brought up, and then I got to figure out why that happened and how.
Yeah.
Who's behind that? That's gonna lead me to a lot right there.
Well, yeah, I can give you some very direct information about how
Yeah.
people just like, I mean, mom right now, if she had a couple $100, she could have all your social media taken down.
But in these cases, there's a
Yeah,
certain person that has a
yeah,
lot of pull,
yeah.
and he thinks he's untouchable because of what
Okay.
he does and where he
Hmm.
is, and he's pretty much useless and doesn't belong to where he is
And
in office.
where this road is, when I read exactly how it's 3 counties that meet together, the
Mhm.
problem is that there's a lot of whose territory is this? Who has jurisdiction here? Who doesn't have jurisdiction here? Once you go one way away from the property, you get into another county, I believe. Once you go the other way across the street and up, it goes into another county.
Mhm.
So it becomes
Well,
a
here,
jurisdiction.
well, that's when you decide as a community where these sorts of things happen. I live in Northwest Florida. I'm not down there in the central part or in the south. I'm over here in Alabama, Georgia territory. I'm on the line, Alabama, Florida line. Anyway, it's not as easy as people think. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got all kinds these counties. I live in one of the largest counties in Florida, and we got a lot of woods, covers a lot of areas, and we got a tri-county area here. These county cops, they will and do work together, especially on local cases, because they bleed over into their counties so easily, right? These
Yeah,
people can
these
they
counties.
you can if you can leave one county, even in a rural area, and 5 minutes later, like literally where I live right now, I could leave my house, and in 15 minutes or less, I'm gonna be in Alabama, but I live in
Well,
Florida.
let me give you some statistics about this county real quick to just give you an
Okay.
idea. Okay. So there's 1,024 males, 988 females through the whole county. Okay. The median age is 38.4 years. Um, the average income for a two-person family is $24,511. Um, I'm trying to get down here to the crime report. 99.2% white and 98% meth heads. I added that last
Yeah.
part.
Well,
Uh,
it's all good. We
Those are
all
good
got that town
statistics.
somewhere close by.
that's
Damn, it's sad but
the
true.
the point that I'm trying to make about this is that when you say community, you have to understand that the entire community are
Hmm.
drug addicts and shit people.
Well, yeah, I can see
You know what
that.
I mean? And that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
problem is that the law
yeah.
enforcement, it's where those 3 counties meet, it is literally good old boy back in the South,
Mhm.
Oh
1905.
yeah. Well, I know
So,
places like that too.
And it's
Yes,
all
so I
one
do.
district. So
Yeah.
District 13. So
Okay.
think you have to think, what is a district covered by?
Mm-hmm.
Who is the guy
Yeah,
that
'cause
all this good old boy, my uncle's brother's cousins, law enforcement
right.
answers to?
And that's how, unfortunately, it does go like that. Even here, they're one of Florida's most famous attorneys, and he's actually well known all across the fucking country. But he passed away right at the end of COVID from that. But Fred Levin was a huge attorney, and we are just got tons of attorneys in this area, and a lot of big cases, and different things come out of here, and different attorneys get involved in different stuff, and all these states have different laws and different things, and the networking that these small communities and towns do, and it is a good old boy system. Either they're going to be like they own the town and you can't do shit wrong, or they're all in cahoots and they're all doing wrong. You know what I mean? And they will cover up for cousin Bob's nephew. You know what I'm saying? Like truth, like you're
oh, for
saying,
sure.
they'll cover up for each other and stuff like that. It happens all the time, whether we like it or not. I mean, I'm not anti law enforcement, and I don't think law enforcement's wrong in every case I review or even talk about. But I'm not naive, and I know there cases absolutely exist where all of these things exist.
I back the
Yeah.
blue when they deserve to be backed. And
Exactly.
Tammy, thank
Thank
you
you,
for coming
honey.
in. And
Thank you.
malicious
That's the
intent, thank you for coming
yeah.
in as well. I dropped your
And
link if you guys aren't subbed up.
look, I've never been a law caller. I only call them if I need them. Otherwise, I am good to go. You go do you.
Mm-hmm.
Leave me alone. Please. Just don't. Don't. But I've taught my kids, not to be afraid of the cops, talk to them and don't all that good stuff. But I respect them and they do a good job for the most part. And I have questions because even with the local case that I work on, they did a crappy job in that case from the start. And even to this day, 11 years later, they're still doing a crappy job. And
And
I don't know
that's
how
a
to make
lot of
them do. I
families.
don't know how to make them do any different.
That's a
Tiffany
lot of
Daniels case, you know, is how and then I've talked to her mom about that. Where do we go from here? What do we do for a new push to try to get information and try to get the cops to look somewhere particular? And how do you prove anything? Because I'll be honest, the person that I honestly thought did it or could have done it would have been the first suspect under any investigation has now passed away. And if he did it, he took it to his grave. He lived with her and he was a 50-year-old man. And Tiffany was a 24-year-old girl at the time. And she lived we had these really nice historic old houses in downtown. And she loved that lifestyle. She was an artist and she hung out downtown. She loved this house, but she had a revolving door of roommates. And she was always that girl who got the roommates who didn't pay their bills and shit. So she ended up letting an acquaintance dad move into her house. And that particular night, they were watching a movie together, and she goes to bed, he goes to bed. The next morning, she gets up early. He said he heard her getting up and leave, and then nobody ever saw her again.
Mm.
And like 24 hours, I think, goes by, and he starts calling his daughter to say Tiffany never came home and all this stuff. And then, like, by the end of the week, that girl finally reached Tiffany's mom on Facebook to say, hey, we haven't heard from Tiffany of you. And her mom's like, what? And here it is Saturday by this time. And Tiffany usually calls by Saturday and comes over, but she hadn't. But now she's getting a call saying, have you heard from her? And this dude was apparently looked into, and his story was believed, I guess, that they were watching a movie and they both went to bed and she left the next morning. The last time anybody saw her, well, she went to work that day. And then she came home. He says that he was on the phone with his girlfriend. He heard her come home, rummage around the house or whatever, and he heard her leave, but he never saw her. Then a little while later, her truck can be seen crossing onto Pensacola Beach. You can't see who's in it or who's driving it, but you can see it going across the toll bridge. Then 8 to 10 days later, I can't recall exactly which one, her truck is found abandoned at the last parking lot before you enter Fort Pickens on the beach. And I have to show y'all a map of that one day. But that's where her car was found, with her bike still in the back. She was prone to go out there, park, and ride her bike. And never to be seen again. And Fort Pickens has been searched. And when I tell y'all, they took search dogs out there, and there's rattlesnakes in there. Even out there, it's an island. So, because it's Pensacola Beach Island, and this is Fort Pickens military old base area. And so one of the dogs was bitten by one of the rattlesnakes, and thank goodness he lived. They got him to the vet and all that good stuff. But it's really, they searched that whole entire area. This girl's not, there's the cameras back then, 11 years ago. I've asked her mom, I was like, did they have her anywhere? I mean, she left Pensacola Junior State College where she was working. There's got to be fucking cameras in that parking lot. Don't tell me there's not. There's
Right.
cameras all over Pensacola. At the stores, at the gas stations, on the whatever. There probably wasn't red light ones all over the place back then, but there was at stores and shit, and on the campus of the And here's a weird thing: when her mom did a special on the Oxygen Channel or wherever it was she did it, they wouldn't let them film the parking lot of the college. The college said no. So we have West Florida State College, or University of Florida, I'm sorry. Anyway, they went to over there, and that college reproduced the other college's parking lot, a complete replica, and they were able to film there. Because
Well,
the
colleges are
college, I guess, didn't want bad press for not having a camera. I don't fucking know.
Wow.
There's just a lot of weird cases out there, you know, with hardly any
Mhm.
clues, and it's odd. It's so fucking odd.
well, with 400,000 people going missing a year, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Truth, you said something that caught my attention in your last live. I think it was this morning, or it might have been this morning. But you had mentioned that you were talking about missing kids or whatever, and that there was a number of kids in the area, and the correlation to where they were all located within this certain area or whatever. I'd be curious to see a map of that. I would be
For
curious to
sure.
see that.
I'm actually working on that. I'm hoping to put that live out next week. I have a
Oh,
full time
okay.
job as well, so it's one of the reason I don't show my face is because of my job. Um, although most of these people have seen most of them have seen my face. We've been offline and chatted, so they know who I am. But um, you know, for me, it was stepping back and looking. So I'm a Nashville native, born and raised, and well, for the most part. And so, for me, I've watched these cases over the years, and I mean, from being a little kid and being in state custody and watching, people go missing out of group homes and things like that. And then you start looking at over the last, I'd say, 20 years or so, right? And you start putting together the cases that haven't been solved with similar patterns or similar ways of people of them going missing, or there are some similarities and even the looks, the appearance of those that have gone missing, both male and female. And when you start putting these cases together, there are obvious differences, but there are so many similarities. And the biggest is that they all seem to just poof disappear.
Yeah.
Right?
And
They
and
they
some of them
all
are
end up
unexplainable, and you
well,
explore
they
all the avenues
they are, but
and nothing.
the ones that I'm looking at are ones that like, okay, so the family is normally involved in something, whether it be drug addict or they're addicts, they have some type of involvement in the underworld, whether it's minimal or a lot, right? And so one of two things is happening. Either these parents are selling their children off, right? Or the opposite is they are getting involved with somebody, whoever that somebody is, who is which comes down to my belief of a serial child kidnapper. And I'm not the first person to say this. They've been saying this in Tennessee for at least 15 years. This is not something new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and it's obviously there's no direct proof of it. But when you start looking at some of the cases, you just go, well, that's strange.
Well, it's not something that hasn't never happened before.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean? I've been following true crime for a long, good Lord, half my life, 30 years at least. I got gauged by how old my kids are. Like when I couldn't leave the house anymore and just could watch TV. So, yeah, like 30 years at least, or 30 plus years. Oh my God, both of them just had birthdays, and I keep forgetting that shit. Anyway, for a long time. So
Uh,
it absolutely can happen. Do you guys remember the Atlanta murders of the kids in Atlanta that were murdered? And it
Mhm.
was the serial guy. Yeah, I mean that it's crazy. I remember when that was going on, and then how when the story broke and it started talking about this serial guy, you know. So it can happen. So I was just curious to see that map you were talking about, and because it's like you go look at that. What is it, Mom? Was it Ohio that has
Ohio,
that huge population of missing kids, and a
that
lot of
case
them
right
are
there,
labeled runaways, but
that mom, that case you're pulling up right here, dig into this
Mhm.
case. This case
mhm.
right here
I
is
have.
fucking nutty.
I
Isn't that
have.
Nutty.
crazy?
That's why I pulled him up.
Have
That
you? Yeah. Go ahead and
Mhm.
tell us the story, Mom.
So Dennis Martin was missing out of the Appalachians. It was the Great Smoky Mountain Park. What is the name of the little place that they were at? clue. It just slipped my mind. I had it on the tip of my tongue.
Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge?
No, they were
Gatlinburg, Pigeon
oh, what the
Forge.
hell is it called? No, it's not Pigeon Forge. It's
I
hang
mean,
on.
Cade's Cove, right?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Cade's Cove.
So he was camping with his family. It was like a men's only camp. Like none of the moms went. And they met another family that had the same last name. Well, the boys were being boys. They were, just playing and having a good time. The adults were spending time, with them, and the boy, it was several boys. So they were out playing together. And they went behind a boulder and he vanished into thin air. Gone.
What?
He's not the only person that has come up missing from Kate's Cove. And this is not far from where Summer's missing from. And I'm not tying her
Okay.
case into his. I'm just
So-
saying that.
Is there? Hold on. Have y'all ever watched Skinwalker Ranch?
Yes.
There's not a place nearby like that, right? I'm
No.
just saying.
No,
Poof,
but
they're gone.
the
What?
amount of people that have come up missing in this area will blow your mind. And this goes all the way back. This case is from 69.
He
I
went
believe.
behind a boulder and vanished.
Yeah,
Vanished.
so,
Poof,
so
gone.
the thing about this story is actually what what a lot of people have talked about, a generational kidnapping business. And the idea is that there is a family that lives up in the hills of the Smoky Mountains, and
Ooh.
the way that they have supported their family for generations is through trafficking of children. And these kids that grow up in the family are taught from a very young age how to sneak up, very Indian like. You know what I mean? I mean that respectfully, but that's kind of how they're taught. And
Yeah.
they're taught to hunt humans and children like you hunt a raccoon with bare hands.
Yeah.
One of
And
the
these are
things that
not people that live like we do with,
No.
big
I
screen
know what you're talking
TVs.
about.
You're
Right.
talking about mountain folk. Like,
Appalachian, deep
right,
Appalachian. Yeah.
absolutely.
I know what you mean. I'm
We
following y'all.
families.
And
Okay,
you're
so
right. And it can get scary in them mountains, right? And
yes,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, the
yes, it is
interesting thing
scary
about
up
this,
there.
let me add something into this. So when the fire of Gatlinburg happened, it burned through Cades Cove, right? And it burned through the upper part of the Appalachian or the Smoky Mountains right there. And there were afterwards, there were homesteads that were found that had never been known to exist on federal land. Like complete homestead that I mean, we're talking about 100 years worth of living in a spot and no one ever knew they were there. And it was 20-mile hike into their property. No
Yes,
roads, no nothing.
yes, Dandy, exactly. The hills have eyes, people. So
It's
there was a
crazy.
couple. There was a couple that allegedly seen him, but and guys, I'm not being funny by any means, and you guys know I love my Bigfoot, but they swear up and down that they saw a Bigfoot or a hairy man carrying something over its shoulder that looked the clothing it had on or material it had on looked like Dennis Martin. So
But like who?
this boy, it matched the
Oh,
clothing
the
on.
kid. Okay.
This
Because
was the
I'm
largest.
down with Bigfoot now. If there was a sighting, I'd like to know where.
Well,
So
I don't think it's so much Bigfoot as much as it is somebody who lives in the mountains that have made clothes
Mhm.
out of animals.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
and I call them the mountain men. I mean, people call them
Yes.
different
There you
things. But
go.
where I'm from, we call
Yeah.
them the mountain men because these people, they can run through the brush up there. And if you've ever been in Tennessee, it's like Florida. I'm not gonna take my shoes off and run through this swamp over here. It ain't gonna happen. Not even the woods
Right.
to the
But they.
swamp, it's not gonna happen.
Right. But they can, huh? They
They
can do that.
can.
Okay.
Yes,
And when they leave anything
they can
behind,
because right, and
it's
they're
like
built.
animal hair and shit like that. Animal hair, hide, so they're not leaving human
Yeah.
tracks, they're
Yeah.
leaving animal tracks behind.
And this
Yeah.
was the
A
biggest
lot of them will
search
wear shoes.
in the history of Tennessee. The 101st Air
Wow.
Force, the Boy Scouts, law enforcement from all over, the National Guard. Like, it is insane. I have a video on my channel on him, and I found his story through a different guy that lives there locally, and he doesn't show his face on his channel. And I've
Well,
talked to him like privately, but I mean
there's a
that.
reason. There's a reason why they have the age progression on here because I think it was about 10 years ago or 12 years ago, a family came out and said that they knew this guy and that this boy had survived and blah, blah, blah. But that's why they have the age progression picture.
Mhm.
Was because they put the picture out several years ago and people started calling in, but this guy had passed away and was already buried.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
that was always the question. Well, is it them? And I don't think they ever got court orders to be able to exhume his body. Because the
Oh
guy that
wow,
they were talking about was married, had kids, everything.
Yeah, if you want a rabbit hole to go down, look up Dennis Martin because that is a
girl.
rabbit hole.
Oh,
Like
these
just to
rabbit
break
holes.
away from what
Yeah,
is happening in real time.
yeah.
You can still pull up. Like I have articles and stuff from the
And
newspapers
I
back.
do when I start to take a real interest in a case, I I dig up everything I can find about it because I have to go learn. You know what I mean? If I don't know something or understand it, or even know what something means, like even in a court filing, whatever, I'm not. I'm gonna go find it. That's just who I am, and I'm gonna go research it. And not on YouTube. I'm not gonna go look for people to tell me what to think. I'm gonna actually go look for myself. And so yeah, that's crazy that isn't it? I mean, people are just having a hard time wrapping their head around Sebastian walking out that door and disappearing. But
Mhm.
we see right here before our eyes, numerous times we've talked about it tonight, how it happens all the time.
Yes.
Vanished.
It's
We
just,
And
actually
it's
have
hard
two
to, I
people who's
think
seen it. Salty
yeah,
the
and I think, go ahead.
what is it called? It's vanished without a trace, or no, into thin air, and it's a series
Yes.
here out of Florida, and it's all cases where people have just vanished into thin air.
well, if you start looking at the cases in Tennessee that I'm talking about, all the way up until 10 years ago, this wasn't one of the, identifiers of it, but now it is. And that's that they leave out of the house with no shoes on, no cell phone in the middle of the night.
Hmm.
Huh. And that's
Those
the
those
ones in
are the keys.
Tennessee that all
Yes,
live in the,
those are
okay.
yes, those are the keys to the 10-year to now is that almost all of them left without a phone in the middle of the night with no shoes on.
Yep.
And this is a 10-year period now.
Well, it's 20 years if you really look at it, but 10 years with the cell phone because cell phones weren't really big. As you get closer to the time we are now, the cell
Well,
phone
that's
thing becomes a
interesting.
big part of it. But and these are people that like when you talk about Caitlin had a lot of friends. Caitlin had a lot of people that actually cared about her. So her as a 26-year-old woman would have her phone attached to her hand. A matter of fact, she made a post on social media, either Facebook or Instagram, the day that she went missing. So it's like she was very active on social media. Now, it's funny enough, her original page went down, and the page that's up now is our old page. Her page that she was active on is no longer even on Facebook.
And who was that? What was that? Who was that?
Caitlin Ledbetter.
I have
Oh,
her. I have a little short thing pulled up that the Farrier Files did. He has done some amazing work for families and cold cases in Tennessee, and
so
this is a
those,
great.
yeah. Um, so how long has she been missing?
3 years.
3 years now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he
Just
said,
know that if you go digging in that case, it's not gonna be pretty on the people responding to you. Just be very aware of that.
hmm
Oh, I don't do a lot of reaching out to people, unless yeah, I'm not,
Listen, there's a
I'm,
different breed
yeah.
of people.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim, you're right. You're right." And even our kids, and I'm guilty of it. My stepdaughter, she busted her phone yesterday. We went and got her a new phone. It's not uncommon for all of us to have. I mean, my phone's right here. I'm live, and my phone's literally right here on my desk.
Guys, give me
You
just a
know,
second. I'll be right.
you're good. So that's not unusual, but we do see these cases. Like like Austin, the case that I worked out of Ohio, and I had his mom up here recently talking about Sebastian's case and just giving her insight of having a child that is autistic and is Sebastian's age. And he is a habitual runaway. Austin is. He is a habitual runaway. I had her on panel one night, and when he runs away barefoot, takes the bare minimum with him, like I had her on panel not 2 hours after I dropped the live, got off the panel, dropped the live, went over, fixed me some coffee, did my thing, come back to check emails, and she had messaged me, and that little shit had run away 2 hours after we got off the live. And he doesn't take anything with him. And he leaves barefoot almost every time.
My sister's daughter did it once. When she got mad at my sister, it was the first time. And she was like, by this time, she was 17, but not mentally. Do you know what I mean? And she got mad at my sister. It got heated. I think that she said Brittany slapped her. I can't remember. But she got mad. Anyway, this child left eventually, right? And walked over to this boy's house she'd been talking to on the phone or something. But she left barefooted. Didn't tell her mom she was leaving. She didn't took the bare minimum. Didn't even take nothing with her. Right? She just left. And it was not. It was weird because Brittany would never do that before. And I know that because Brittany didn't like people. When we went somewhere, if we went to a restaurant, we went to the grocery store, anywhere we went, she would literally, if a person looked at her passing, or if she thought they were staring at her, she would look up at them and say, "What you fucking looking at? Don't look at me." And we had to teach her, you can't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and she didn't like me. She was real clingy to us. She would have anxiety going into places. So it was the fact that she got mad. You know what I mean? That I think provoked her to walk out that day. Like my sister called me and my other sister panicking, telling us that she was missing. And my God, our brains just went crazy. What do you mean she's missing? What happened? When was the last time you saw her? We had all kind of questions. And she's freaking out and panicking. And I can't deal with a panicking woman because I need information. So you got to calm down long enough to tell me first, right? But we found her just a little while later. But it can go sideways real quick, with a child that may already have some problems or are prone to do that sort of thing. Would make it even worse. Like you said, they just do it all the time in some cases.
Yeah, he's a habitual runaway, little turd. And I mean, that case was a roller coaster. It was absolutely a roller coaster. She was my first family I had ever interviewed. I was working with Arctic Fox and some other creators. A couple of them aren't on here anymore, and then one passed away. But I was literally live just to keep his name out there. It was one of those days where Arctic wasn't live, so I was like, well, I'll go live, you know what I mean, just so we can keep his case out there because it was such a shitstorm. The police were trying to arrest her for looking for her kid. I mean, like, I'm dead serious. Yes, ma'am. She is out there looking for her son, passing out flyers, driving down a road, not going to people's houses, not doing none of this craziness that we're seeing in Sebastian's case. I'm not about stalking anybody's house or anything like that. I'm talking about on a public street, yelling his name, and the police come up with her other daughter in the car with her, underage daughter, and they arrest this woman for looking for her son. So she gets them to listen. And I'm on the phone with local news. I'm like, hey, what the hell? Why are y'all not covering this case? The main reporter tells me they can't cover his case because law enforcement has told them they cannot cover it. So a lot of people don't understand that mainstream media falls under that umbrella of law enforcement. If law enforcement says, no, don't cover this, they're not going to touch that case.
That's true.
And she was literally looking for her kid. They put her in handcuffs. She's on Facebook Live. I'm streaming the live on my channel. I think Arctic was streaming it on his channel. So it was out there. Like, we had this cop's face. We had everything that was happening. The crying teenage girl in the car that's freaking out because her mom's being arrested for looking for, her brother. And she finally gets them to listen because he had been groomed and kidnapped. And that hadn't been the first time these people had took him. We had ring camera footage of him getting in their vehicle, like not no blurry footage. I'm talking about you could plainly see who was in the car kind of thing. And so I'm streaming just the story, and this guy comes in my chat and he's like, "Hey, would you like mom to come up on panel?" Well, hell, I'd never interviewed anybody before. I was like, "Sure." And she comes up on panel, and now, she's like family, you know what I mean? I talk to her at least weekly, if nothing else. I talk to her weekly. And so she finally gets the police to listen because she tells them, I've got YouTubers involved. We're sharing his name, we're sharing his face. You guys need to get off your ass and you need to help me find my son. So they go to search for this little shit, and he has put himself in between a mattress and a box spring and is laying in between the mattress and the box spring, watching the cops walk by him. Like literally watching the cops in the house search for him. And then later on, they go back and they review the body cam footage, and you can plainly see this little turkey in between the mattresses. And he's watching the cops look for him the whole time. So she gets him home, and he has stays where he goes to like a home. Well, we lost Truth. But he has stays like where he goes to these homes to kind of, because he's a lot to handle. And she's a single mom, you know what I mean, doing it on her own. Much love and respect to her for everything she deals with. And he's a smart little shit. Like, she has the internet lockdown where he can't get on the internet. He's figured out how to jailbreak the Wi-Fi box where he can get into it.
And that's, you know what? You say that because they're very prone to do that.
Mm-hmm.
With my niece, we locked her out of everything, but guess what? If the girl got half a chance and you turned your back, she was going to get past what you did.
Yep, and she can lock the phones up, and he will figure out a way to get those phones out.
Exactly.
At night when she's asleep, I swear she can put them in a lockbox. It doesn't matter. He will figure a way.
So with them saying Sebastian couldn't get online, this and that and the other, I've always known, yes, he could have.
Yep.
If he had a phone in that switch or whatever he had, there's a will, there's a way. And I'm guarantee he was probably smart at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and kids are, and they're so like, just they'll find a way around. Like, if there's a way around, if there is an alternate route that they can take to get what they want, they're gonna do it. And that's
they damn sure are.
That's any kind of kid. But
yes,
when you're dealing with an autistic child, their brains work different than ours.
Yeah.
So they're processing things that we couldn't even imagine processing. And I speak from experience. My sister's severely disabled and severely autistic, and she is extremely smart. Like, she is a savant. When it comes to the Cincinnati Reds, she can tell you every stat. She loves Tim McGraw. She knows all of his songs, can tell you how many awards he's won, how many records he's sold, every word to him, like, they're amazing. Like, they really are. They're amazing people to be around and learn. And like, when she sees your face and hears your voice and your name, I don't care if it's 20 years and she hadn't seen you. She knows who you are.
Right.
Like, she doesn't forget, and she's so amazing, but she has a hellacious temper too.
Right.
I mean, like, a massive temper.
And I'm not like speaking from personal experience of people I know with these types of disabilities and whatever spectrums, whatever, they tend to have a temper in some ways, and they're very strong, like physically. They can rip
your arm off.
Yes, they can be very physically strong. They have a very strong ability. They are super smart in so many ways. And I feel like some of this stuff with Sebastian got so muddy, people kind of forget or don't want to think that he was far more capable, I believe, than people want to think he was. And I think that came across when Chris talks about him, it comes across. And then when we finally got to hear from Katie, it came across even more that he was capable, right? And yes, I agree. And so there's and I get it, it don't make any sense to walk out that front door and not one single camera see you. But the cops haven't confirmed, they just say, what do they say? No nothing of value, no leads, they don't say we don't have nothing on camera. I'd have to go back and actually listen again. But you know what I'm saying? They're not,
Yep.
apparently it's never been made very clear. So I'm assuming maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know anymore.
And
But it can
that's where I
happen.
say is law enforcement doesn't have to come out and tell us what they have.
No,
And
they
the
don't.
tactic, they can lie to the public. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing to say that law enforcement can't lie to the public.
But
You know,
and you know what?
that is what they have
I,
to do sometimes.
you're right. And I think they do and will. And I also believe that well, I don't believe it anymore. I think I know it. They do gauge social media, especially on a case they're working on. If they're investigating a case and it takes wings on social media, they pay attention because a lot can be said and done and occurred on social media that could tip that they could be listening for. And
Mhm.
um, they've joined Facebook groups in the past, and things of that nature. But I think it's gotten to a point when I say put pressure on law enforcement, what I mean is it's 2024 and you're not dealing just with mainstream media press releases anymore. You have your social media that you love and hate. You know what I mean? It's getting used in a lot of ways. In a lot of cases across the board, social media is being used and by the good and the bad. But they need to start
Yep.
either figure out a way to communicate with that medium a little better and protect the parents at the same time. I think they could say more without saying more. Do you get what I'm saying in some
I
of these
totally agree
cases?
with. I totally agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, and
Yep. It's
sometimes
like
I know if giving me a car description publicly could tip off the person, I totally understand that. And if you don't have a clear image or a tag, then yeah, you don't really want to tip that person off because you really don't know what that is yet. So I could see not putting that out there because what we had a girl a little while back, a few months back, and so she goes missing, and they show this damn Penske rental truck on the news. And everybody's thinking this was the last vehicle she was seeing. This truck was seen outside her apartment, whatever. Well, a few days go by and they actually end up finding her. But the guy that did it wasn't even tied to that Penske truck, and the cops knew it. They knew that her boyfriend actually had done it and was in a white pickup truck, and they were like watching him those couple of days. But for some reason, the media got that damn image of the Penske truck. I don't know if it came from the cops or what it was, but they never came out and said that truck's not tied to this. And I know that they didn't want to do that to startle off the guy in the white truck, but it had everybody looking for a fucking Penske truck. Do you know what I'm saying?
yep. Yep. And if people will
So,
look back, this came out as an endangered child and was upgraded to an Amber Alert. So in order to get an
yes.
Amber Alert, there are guidelines that have to be met to get an Amber Alert,
Yeah.
or you're pulling teeth to get an Amber Alert. I know because I've tried to get Amber Alerts before, and you literally have to have certain guidelines. A vehicle is one of those guidelines. To be an abduction case is a description of a vehicle. Law enforcement does not have to give us that information.
Well,
So
let me
in
ask you
my
this.
mind,
Do you think that he could have left in a vehicle that night?
I do. I do. I believe that
Yeah.
after the radio chatter came out and we were able to listen to the radio chatter and hear that there was a scent picked up and the scent stopped.
Mhm.
Well, we don't know exactly how far that scent went because that audio got real choppy and real like, you know, you had mannequins and all this other stuff going on in that audio. We don't know if there was a backup channel that they were using for stuff that they didn't want made publicly, which they are able to do.
They do have a backup channel, you're correct. From
Yeah.
what because I posted that audio, I believe, to my Twitter, not my Twitter, my YouTube. And
Mhm.
what we do know is that dog trailed the scent to the pond, and then the dog dove in the pond. Now, Michelle After Dark, I like her and I respect her. And she's been doing training dogs for a long time, and she legit searches over there. She's in another country. But
Mhm.
she was talking about once the scent, the human hits the water, what could happen. And yes, if it's swift, if it's this, if it's that, if it's got debris and this, different things could affect it and carry it down. And then that could confuse the dog once it got to the water. And
Yes.
then your mind goes back to all the old movies of people hit the water and they do the thing, and so the dog don't keep up with the scent or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm thinking that dog dove into the water, I'm like, well, damn, so then I started asking Clue about that pond, and that's when I asked Cletus, could you get to that pond from Ward Lane, which runs behind there? And they said, yeah, you could. And if you go back there on a map, and Kimber, you can speak on this a little better knowing the area. In fact, Kimber needs to go drive down that road for us and look. But I don't think there's any
Yeah,
cameras
I'm
back
going
there
to.
because it's and people I reviewed this morning that live there, I don't know who they are, but they said it's not rural like people say it is. It's a very booming part of town.
It is a
But
very
that ward,
high-end part of town too.
right, and it's a very busy intersection up there at the main part there. But that Ward Lane is like a small road. You know what I'm saying? It's off the
Mm-hmm.
highway. It's tiny and it runs back behind the pond. And I believe there's a cemetery. Kimber, is that correct?
I think there's a cemetery back there.
And I think that Cletus said there was a little makeshift road that came off of Ward to the cemetery, and the pond was next to that or something. So when I said, well, could a car get back there? And he's like, yes. So I was like, Now if I'm going, I don't want to phrase that way. You could have somebody meet you back there knowing you might not be seen back there picking that person up as well as you would if going through the neighborhood. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep, I do.
So
I do.
did he go back there to meet up with someone? And did law enforcement see a car but can't make out exactly what it is or see a license plate?
It is very possible, especially if it's a service road that meets a smaller road. Because the Ward Road,
Right,
I haven't been in Hendersonville in so long, but a lot of those roads are old roads.
right.
Those are,
And it
the original
appears, and
roads.
I've only trolled the maps because that's what I do. As soon as a case pops up, I got to go to maps. But I've
Mhm.
looked at that area hard, just trying to figure it out. But I got to really looking at that road, and I was like, damn, I wonder. But it appears to be what you are describing. Absolutely. Like a small old road. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
it
Because a
just
lot
made
of
me
there's a
wonder.
it's an old part of Tennessee. Nashville
Yeah.
is an old part of Tennessee. You got to think that when
Yes,
they built
ma'am.
City Hall, and it's a
Yeah.
karst zone. So, and for those of
Look,
y'all that are not from the area, a karst zone means that there's caves and it's limestone and it runs under that whole
hmm
area.
Yeah. Now, caves. Do you remember like the little girl, what's her name, Jessica, whatever, that fell in the well? That's that baby's name. She fell in the well and it was down there for a long time, days, and they finally got her out. It was back in the 80s.
I was going to
Yeah,
say, you're pulling way memories back.
Yeah, huge case.
I
So
remember it, but I can't remember the little girl's name.
yeah, I
Remember
can't
her name
remember
either.
either. And remember they pulled her out, and it was like, oh my god, it was like, it was crazy.
And her arm was
So
broken, and she had some other stuff too.
yeah, I mean,
Yep.
she was down there for a long damn time. It was like
Oh
days
yeah.
and days and days. It was a long time. So, and when people started mentioning caves and stuff, Mom, and I've talked to Kimber about that. If he ran out after a cat, we've heard over and over about his love for these cats. Even Katie mentioned the other day wanting to be or loving the animals, or wanting to be a vet, or only wanted to work with the cats or whatever. Again, there was the cats again, and I thought, well, damn, there we go again with those cats. And
Mhm.
somebody commented on one of my TikToks, says I don't put out the drama, especially on my TikTok. Now, I might throw shade at a certain TikTok Tony every now and then when it's deserved, using
Tacky
his own
Tony.
words.
Mhm.
Using his own words, not mine. But anyway, I put a Sebastian video out, you know, with his images and stuff and share and all that stuff. Somebody commented, the person just across the street had a lot of cats. And I read the comments and I know to take everything with a grain of salt. I'm not naive. But when that comment was posted, I thought, a lot of cats across the street. There we go again with those cats. Did one come near that house that night when he took out that garbage? Did he hear that cat out that window that night or see it again and go out to get it and chased it
It
all the
could be
way back
so
there?
many different things.
Did he go off into the
Absolutely.
woods, and could he have fallen into something like a hole or took refuge in a cave? Like if he got turned around and did go north and got deeper and deeper into the woods, could he have took refuge in a cave and something horrible? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't rule out those possibilities. Am I right?
No, you can't. That's why I always say that, in these missing cases, we have so many moving parts that you can't
Yeah.
get stuck on one narrative and just be, horse blinders on. This is what I think
Yeah.
happened. You have to go through so many different scenarios.
You
And,
have to, right? You can't get tunnel vision.
and one of the old sayings is whatever you expect the reason to be, it's going to be the simplest reason you never thought of. And the
Right.
girls have came to our rescue. We got Tomboy Charm and Doodlebug Fart, Saint Jessica McClure, and she
Yeah.
was in the well
That's
for
it.
58.5 hours. Thank you,
Yes.
ladies.
Thank
You're awesome.
you. Doodle. Shout out, girlfriend.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's so many moving parts in these cases, and like I said from the beginning, and this was before I even spoke on YouTube when I was in the Twitter Spaces. I said, it really, really sounds to me like he was groomed. And then, I had people
Yeah.
that, oh, well, he didn't have internet access. I said, I call bullshit.
I
This
do
is a
too. And
teenage
you
boy.
know what? I've questioned my grandson is 8. My son's girlfriend's children, her boys are 9 and 7. So they all have the Roblox. Okay, my grandson has a
Mhm.
Switch. And my son's like, "You're always asking me questions." I'm like, "Just answer my damn questions. They all know me." So I've investigated the Switch, and even though these kids aren't connected on the device to go online, they can still chat with their friends on the side.
Mhm.
And my son has it turned off on my grandson's. And just she said that her son's was on, and he does have friends from like his class. I said, but people can befriend them. There's a way to do that. She said, yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, so see,
Yep.
there's absolutely a way for him to communicate with someone on the Switch. And if he did, but
Yep.
was able to bypass the Wi-Fi rules, restrictions, whatever, he absolutely could get online and talk to somebody.
Mhm. My grandson has it too, and I have it downloaded on my phone where I was playing it with him. And you have the
Mhm.
messages that pop up on the side of the, even on my phone. You turn my phone sideways, which I play with a game PS4 controller. So my screen's like, my phone's setting up on one of my 10 friggin' tripods I've got. And, there is a chat that comes up on it. You can disable any kind of chats, but even Minecraft, you can do chats. And like I said, with the
Yeah.
PlayStation, I was
Yeah.
big for Call of Duty. Like I was deep off in Call of Duty. Like
Girl, yeah, I got my
I am Shipment
17-year-old is that
44.
way.
I mean,
Yeah.
I loved Shipment 44 to the point where I wouldn't wear the headphones, you know what I mean? I would just get in there and I would just mutilate everybody in the whole game. And one night I was in there and you can hear the people talking. Even if you don't have your headphones plugged in, you can still hear them talking
Mhm.
depending on if you have the controller that has a speaker on it or you can set your TV up where you can hear it coming through. And these guys are like, "Man, dude, you're badass, whoever this is," and my gamer tag on PlayStation is his Dixie Normus, like Dixie, like do 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 Dixie.
Yeah.
So it's play on words.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's my gamer tag. I'm closet
It
closet old
My
school
son is
dark humor.
17, and he started holding a damn controller, I think he was 4 months old, sitting next to his
Yep,
dad.
Mini
And
Monster that was on
that was it.
panel.
It was
He's
over.
been a gamer his
And
whole
so,
life.
yep, all my son's life. And people used to See, I raised kids. I say I raised kids because my older two are in their 30s now. And then I got my 17-year-old. Totally different times, right? Totally
Mhm.
different times. And everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't let him play video games so much. I'm like, you know what? At 15 years old, if he's in that room playing video games, I know where my 15-year-old boy's at. And if he's in there
Facts.
cussing up a storm, playing Call of Duty, that's the worst he's doing at 15. I know what I was doing at 15 and
Hey,
16. I'm cool with him sitting in there playing that fucking video game, right? I'm
you
sorry.
ain't
But
kidding.
and he does good in school. He's a good boy, he doesn't get in trouble, all the good stuff. I don't care if he's a gamer, but yes, they can absolutely talk to a lot of people. And I had to tell him the rules, you know what I mean? I had to teach him
Mhm.
a different level of stranger danger than my other kids because it was a whole new ball game. It was a whole new world. And so he got his first phone at 8 years old because his dad, we were not together. Neither one of us had a landline. And
Mhm.
for about 30 minutes in the afternoon, he was home alone. So we wanted to make sure he had a phone to reach us or vice versa.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's had a phone since he was 8. We've had all kinds of security features and set up. We know what everything going, all the things. But if they want to get past it, they can. There's a
Yep.
way.
Like Dandy said, autistic children aren't stupid. Just saying
Nope.
they can be estimated. Absolutely. Doodle says my
Hmm.
grandson plays Roblox. But little does he know that he is that I'm on there too. She says he thinks that I'm a 9-year-old girl and I follow him around in every room he goes in. That's great. As Dan talking about these stories, I start hearing burping noises outside my car. Oh hell no, girl! You better, no ma'am.
Jesus.
So the VR is the same way. Yeah, Doodle's a trip.
I love
Uh,
Doodle.
Jim says, I still worry about my 9-year-old granddaughter online. I keep telling my daughter she needs to keep a watch on what she watches, and she does. And my daughter says she's okay. You don't know she's okay. Well, the way that we did it when we got the baby's first phone is we set up parental controls on her phone. And if she even
Yeah.
went into the app store, because we got her an Android first, so we got her the Android.
Hmm.
She even so much as went into that app store, he got a
What happened?
Did she freeze? Can you hear
Uh,
me?
I think she did. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh no. Maybe we can give her a minute and see if she comes back to us.
Yes, I think she's totally frozen.
Oh goodness. Yeah, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Doodle, is mom froze on your screen?
Yeah, she's probably gonna come right back because she just dropped it. Looked like she dropped
Oh,
down. Her thing is gone. So yeah, Jim, 9-year-old online, you gotta keep your eyes on these kids, man, when they're on their online profiles. I used to get notifications on everything my kid did. You know what I mean? Um, Everything, even the stuff he did on YouTube, because he would watch gamer videos. He would watch videos on YouTube of gamers playing video games. And I'm like, "Are you seriously watching people play video games?" He's like, "Yes, mom." And it was like the thing they did or whatever. And there was, yeah, and always on the Xbox Live, these kids will talk to each other. And they don't know who they're talking to. I tried to stress that sometimes. You can tell by some of the kids, their voices, that they're kids, but a lot of times there's older sounding kids in there talking or men playing the game. And you don't know who you're talking to, so you don't ever give out your information, things like that. You have to tell the kids that. Never give out your information like your hometown. Do you know what I mean? It's dangerous for kids to even say their hometown
yeah, oh
online.
yeah.
Because you know what? Yeah, they're sitting there saying, well, I'm from, Iowa. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Mississippi. Oh, where at? The next thing you
Right.
know, they know where your kid's at. And so I try to teach my grandson that. Now, God, I hope he listens. I'm not saying he will. Is
What
she
if,
back?
oh, I put mom instead of mom and back to
My,
Are you back?
my swamp. Yeah, I'm gonna go outside because my swamp signal just kicked in and the whole freaking internet just went down. So let me relocate. Thank you guys for holding down the fort.
Oh, you're cool. I'm gonna walk outside too.
Get back, heathen. There's bagoogers out there.
Well, I hope there's no bagoogers out there.
Oh, there's definitely out here. I'm gonna make
Mine'll
some.
be way across the field up there by the woods.
Y'all better
I'll be
hope
able
there
to.
ain't no gators out there.
Dude, was you on Doggos the night that I freaking was telling about the baby gators? So I get cabin fever. So sometimes I come and I sit at night and I had the dog out here with me, like the pit bull, like the big dog, like not the littles. I had the big dog out here because I don't bring them out after dark. And it's real late, like pitch like dark, like now. They don't come out here because it's hard for me to see what's coming after us. And sorry guys, I was not able to private chat at the but I'm out here and I'm like, okay. Oh. So I go back to the house and I get him and I'm like, come here, come outside. And he comes out and he's like, what? And I listen. And he was like, what is it? And I was like, it's a baby gator. Hear it? And he was like, oh, I do. I was like, hell no, it's close. And the pit bull gonna try to drag me over there. I was like, no, sir, you're going back in the house. And I went and got the spotlight, stood safely like on the corner of the sun deck with the spotlight, like looking for its eyes. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna catch me. Mm-mm.
Go
No,
away, baby gator.
yeah, where I live, I have to go down to the river and go on the river to get a gator. Where at right now, I'm around the state forest, and I can watch for the coyotes and shit like that. But a bear, but I'm not too worried about a gator right here as I am those other animals. But when I go to the river, that's a different story, especially at night. Well, we'll see them in the daytime occasionally, but at night you can take the spotlight and you got your spotlight, but you're going down the river, and you're checking things out with your spotlight, and you'll see those eyes. That's what you're really looking for, because we don't do anything. We just like walk, where's them gators? But we'll see them. And when one night we were like trolling around, and it was like almost dark, and we went into this little, they call it a slough. It's a tiny, like, little road off the highway, but it's in the water. So we go in it, and my dad's thinking he's going to get some bait fish in there. And we're like, Dad. He's like, yeah. We're like, gator. He turns around. He's like, oh, I see her. And you could see her, and she was going back and forth down there, back and forth. And we knew there had to be babies back there. You know what I mean? From the area it was in, like it was secluded, and that was her area. We weren't about to go down there. I think she would have messed that boat up, because she like meant you're not coming down here, and she was patrolling. Boom, boom, boom. We're like, no, I respect them. You stay out there. I'm not coming. I'll leave you alone. I'm glad I don't live where they might come up out of the water and get me, because they will.
Yeah, they will. I
Hmm.
Margaret said this is the second time in a day now I've heard Dixie Normus mention the first time the guy who had been attending the daily Karen Reed murder case who came up in live in another YouTube channel. Mine was, oh, we lost Salty. Mine was his Dixie Normus is my PlayStation tag. Haven't played in years. Kimber, did I lose you too?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I
Tim's,
was here.
let's see, let's pull Salty back up. Add to stage. I'm not used to using my phone, y'all. I'm so spoilt to my laptops. Can you hear us, Salty?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was my fault.
This is
What did you do? Click the wrong button.
online.
Yeah, I did.
Happens
I
to me
did.
all the time. I am the queen of clicking the wrong button.
Dude, I'll have like me and Money Monster were up one night. I had all my tabs open and I was trying to clear out some of my tabs and kick myself off freaking StreamYard. And he's texting me. He's like, Mom, where are you? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, just hold down the fort. I'm trying to get back in.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
off.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I yeeted myself. Well, the internet yeeted me, Dandy. I'm back. I'm outside on the phone
Yeah,
now.
things are gonna happen, especially when you're live, and especially with the internet. Sometimes it gets crazy. It can't be helped.
Dude, I'm telling you, if I don't mute myself at least once in a live, yeah, my swampy signal, it's not alive. Like you, either my internet go down and just completely yeet me out of the live, or just mute myself completely. Dude, we have a raccoon out here. I'm talking about this son bitch is huge. He is the biggest
Mhm.
freaking raccoon I have seen in a long time, and I'm from Kentucky. And we keep a cinder block because of the bears. We move the waste bins down to the end of the driveway, and it's like I don't know, it's probably a half a mile driveway. It's a long ass driveway. So we move the waste bins down there. And that son bitch is so big. I'll tell you how big he is. He can move that cinder block off and get in that trash can still.
Oh
Uh-uh.
my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. They're freaking vicious, man. They're gonna get in there one way or the other. Little dirty bastards. Isn't it crazy how they are? And they get big.
A
And you
good
know
dumpster
what?
Parker
It's
says,
fire in a trash can, though.
they probably get bigger up there than they do in the Florida because even when my dad's an avid hunter, like avid deer hunter, and he fishes all summer and you go hunt all winter. It is what it is. But the deer here, when I lived in North Alabama, like Huntsville area, and I lived in Tennessee for a year and a half, the size of the deer there compared to the size of the deer in Florida, it's like, damn, there's some puny ass deer down there in Florida. You know what I mean? That was my first thought.
it
But I've
really
seen the difference in the wildlife. It's like they're bigger there for some reason. I don't know why. All your animals.
because the terrain. It's because of the terrain. They build
I
up
guess so, right?
they build up the muscle mass. We're down here, they don't have the hills or they
Yeah.
that
Okay.
like through.
Logical sense. I like it. That makes sense, really,
And
because
I do. I love the distance. We had for kids more. She's bad about popping in and out. But when Drifty in here, so we had this raccoon. His name was Racky, and he thought that he was her mother, and he would attack you if you went anywhere near her. Like even
mm-hmm.
like he was an ass. My dad was the only one that could do anything with him, but he was so cool to have. He was like a rescue. They found him like his mom got killed or something. He was a wee little guy. And then I have two little raccoons that like to come over here by my cart. And I was out there one day and I was like, come here, sweet baby. Come here, you little sweet baby. Come here. Come see me, sweet baby. And he comes out. He's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to coach. Oh, there you are. You tried to come up. I didn't. I probably when I kicked myself off panel. The link's pinned at the top. She's still in here. Do you remember Racky? You were little. But anyway, these two little baby raccoons would not come to me. I was really upset because I fitting to make one of them my friend.
That's crazy. Yeah, he's gonna be your friend for a minute. He might. You never know. Like I'm not like the animal whisperer, so I don't want to get too friendly with too many of them, but I don't want to test them neither. Like animals, just like are naturally cool with me, and yeah. But I'm
They are.
raised around wildlife. I've been raised on the river and in the wood. You know what I mean? So it's second nature to some of us to be around wildlife. Not everybody understands it because they're not from that type of stuff. Like I don't understand what it's like to be from a large city where there's concrete and loud noise. You know what I mean? Where you don't see woods. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
again, I know that that's people live like that, and there are. I've been to Orlando many, many, many times. We were annual pass holders to the parks. all throughout the 90s. So I've traveled all through Florida. We all down there all the time. But down there, compared to where I live, is very different worlds. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Well, I was raised in the
hello.
boondocks.
Yeah, right?
I was raised in the boondocks. Like we had a bobcat that would come up and she would hang out in the freaking tree, and she used to scare the hell out of me, man. And one night I came out, like after I'd left home, I lived in Nashville, and I came home. I don't even know. I think I took mom to the grocery store and was like just spending time with mom. And my nephew at the time, he was like, God, he was little. He was probably like 4 years old. And my brother was out there sighting a rifle, which is, country life. It's normal. He was sighting a rifle down in the field. And I'm a hooping and a hollering because I don't have a damn key to the gun cabinet. And here this thing is, and it's stalking my nephew. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm hollering, get up here, get up here. It's going to eat the baby. I'm trying to plug my charger in, y'all. I was not prepared to go live on my phone. Oh, Lord. I'm going to turn my camera off for a minute.
Your sister's here.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you
Hey.
remember?
No, but you remember the groundhog I sent you a picture of a while back?
Yeah.
It had babies. They're so cute.
Oh,
Oh. Aw. You
Yeah,
have a white deer?
we still it's over the I don't have a picture of it, but it's over in the depot.
So
it was a what?
A
she
white deer.
eastern Kentucky,
Oh, that's cool.
and
Those are
over.
rare. I mean, hey, that's really rare there too to see like a white deer. I mean, that's pretty rare.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
We have outdoor cats, but we also have a three-legged skunk that likes to hang out with the cats. And then we have the, the I don't know what you call them. Shoot, the I call them giant rats is what call them, but possums. We have a
Mm,
possum that likes to eat with the cats, and I'm like, okay.
yeah.
So it's like we have like our own little ecosystem. At one point, we had little baby like foxes, and they were so cute. But you didn't get near them when Mama was around.
Well, I'm sure y'all's areas like mine, eventually people moved into those areas. Like we have a large black bear population, and it's like this big thing around here now. There's a Facebook page about it, but these black bears, and they'll come in people's yards and they do this and that, but nobody's been attacked yet, which I'm totally shocked by at this point. Not I don't think too many little dogs have come up missing, nothing like that, but they're constantly in the yards, and people, and it's like because they keep moving further out into their territories where they're at, and they
Yeah.
don't really, you're not allowed to like go bear hunting and shoot the bears all willy nilly around here, nothing like that. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of wildlife that are kind of like nowhere else to go, right? But your yard, and so they come hang out with your cats.
Well, like with where we live right here, and like next door is like the Army Depot, which is like 3,000 some odd acres of nothing but like just pure like grass and stuff. So there is no telling what is in the depot. We have a rule: as long as it stays over there and it doesn't come over here, we're good. Like the other day, I was coming into work with the Tamara, the our sister, and I was about to pull in my mom's driveway, and this deer is looking at me like, I'm standing here, you can wait. Um,
Hmm.
and then like 5 minutes later, she goes to like where our ditch is, and just takes a crap willy nilly. Like, this is my house, you can just live with
Damn.
it. And that's how they are. They don't care. And
Yeah.
they're worse at the depot. They'll just literally stand in the middle of the road and like, you're not gonna hit us, so you can just wait.
I live like 15 miles between me and town, and early in the mornings and toward the evenings, you need to be careful. If you don't want to hit a deer, you need to be careful. Um, so.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't
that's
care. They'll
us.
run out right. They run out. And run, they don't care. They just run right out in front of you.
Oh, they don't care
They don't
here
even.
either.
They don't even teach their babies to look when they cross the road. So I told my son one day. He was like, "Mom." I was like, "Well, it's true. You'd think over time animals evolve. Those deers would get a fucking clue to look before you cross the damn street. But no, they just run out and boom, you hit them. It's ridiculous."
Yep. They do
So,
damage too.
damn, they
Yes,
do.
Dandy. Monkeys down here too.
But well, but you sis is right about a lot of things. Tamara has a nasty temper. She'll slap the crap out of you, and then look at you like it's your own fault. And then the next day she'll be loving and sweet, and you're like, I don't trust you. I don't want a black eye.
Mm-hmm.
But she will like if you ever meet her, she'll be like she'll ask you your name, and then she will not forget you. She'll ask about you nonstop. She'll be like, when are they coming back to visit? And I'm like,
You
I
keep
don't know.
her distance somewhere. Hoda's not in a good mood. You're gonna know.
Margaret, damn raccoons.
But the other night she heard Mind the Monsters on there. She's like, tell her I said hi and I love her. I said I will.
Oh, so,
Can I help you, Cottontail?
Raccoons and bears do serious damage to
oh
the
no,
body.
tomboy. She hit a hog.
Tell her I love her too. I'm
I've
coming. That's my. We were gonna do crime con, but my podcast got denied.
Yeah, we
Really
got
pisses me
wild
off.
hogs up
And
here too on the
like I thought
rivers.
about
People hunt.
pulling some
You can
strings.
hunt the
You
hog
know, I work
here.
with some big creators.
What? Are you okay there, Mom?
Oh, whew, that's a brick wall right there.
Mom.
So you're coming back home next month? Are you staying?
Yeah, yeah. I came in here with the pit bull because he like he saw me and he was like, "Ooh, my."
You're freezing up again like
No,
you were
I
earlier.
can't stay till we get everything squared away with him. But I am coming back home next month. I've got dad like for the store
What day are you coming up next month?
town hall. Ooh, Lord. Is that better, y'all?
Will you two knock
It's
it
probably because I'm
off?
sitting in here, but my damn phone. Yeah. Y'all hold down the fort for a minute.
Okay.
I'll
Kimber,
still
you
be
still
here
with
with
us?
you.
You still there, Kimber?
It'll just be
I
a
am.
minute.
I'm gonna drop
Okay.
off in a minute and probably get some sleep.
Yeah, I will too as well. Mom's having issues again with her Wi-Fi when she's inside. It appears. Because when
Thank
she
you
was
guys.
outside, she
It
was
always.
good. You there?
There's two
Oh, now there's.
moms.
Let me move.
She's a
How do I?
twin.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.